What's going on? Good morning. Good morning. Some of you folks out there probably not even up. It's y'all know a lot of my buddies on the East Coast, I mean the West Coast, so they're probably like 3 hours behind. Um, but I've been up and I figured I'd do a little chat maybe for a little while, probably until my little one wakes me up. Wakes up and come down here and ask for breakfast or lunch rather. So I kind of figured it wasn't gonna be a lot of y'all out here anyway. So we're just hanging out. Hope everyone's doing well. So I do got a few little items that possibly might help. That I ran across from that might help with organization and stuff like that. So like I said, I don't have much planned. This was random as heck for me to do a live stream. So uh looked like it was two or one of y'all out there. So don't be shy. You come in, speak. Just hey, what's up, Chico, or whatever. So let's see. I was going to attempt to cast, but it's overcast, cloudy. So I'm probably not gonna do that in the weather. That is no good if you do. I wanted to smelt down some wheel weights I had, so I figure I'd do a coffee chat. And you know what? This is actually my first coffee chat, so I don't really. I've been on them before and heard people talk, but I guess some talking points or something. Uh, Probably talk about what's coming up in the future and what you've been loading and what you ain't been loading and stuff like that. So let's see if I can. Let's say welcome to my one viewer. How about that? So yeah, and possibly whoever is out there, if you guys are up or whatever, you're not preoccupied. If you want a link, let me know. I'll shoot one to your email or drop one. Shit, hey, I'll put the link in the side chat. I ain't scared. So, what was I gonna say? I don't know. Still low on primers, obviously, and I know everybody. If you're in the reloading world, you know how that can go. So, but I'm not totally out. I do have a competition coming up on uh next month. I've got another USPSA match, and I went ahead and I've registered for USPSA, so I am a member now. I've done a few matches and I'm scored, but my scores don't stick, or it's not uploaded to my profile, so to speak. So I don't have a classification. But at this next match, since I registered as a member, I will be classified. I don't know what that classification will be, but I will be classified, so to speak. I haven't even seen what that classifier stage looks like. They normally post it uh, a few days. Broke loader, what's up, brother? He says, "What the heck?" Kingpin, what's going on, brother? Yeah, so I'm random as heck. Y'all know how that goes, man. I was up earlier, way earlier than this, and I went and got some coffee. So I was like, let me go down here and fire up this old laptop I got and see what's going on. What's up, Ghost Tactical? Good morning, brother. So yeah, I've got a USPSA match, and like I said, I'll be gaining my classification, whatever that will be. Uh, I don't know. I think if it's a D classification, they don't even score it. I don't know. Don't quote me on that, but we will figure it out. We got Jeremy Gunslinger out there and Joaquin. What's up, brother? Um, Echo, what's going on, brother? Joaquin, how's that rifle working for you that you won on Is Your Six Covers giveaway, man? Congratulations on that. I know that was been a few weeks back, but that was awesome for you to win that rifle. Yeah, good morning, Echo. I'm out here just random as heck, man. Jerry Barrow, good morning, sir. I was I was up fairly late last night, didn't get to get on any live streams. Uncle Jim's live stream. I was in the side chat when me and my son was having dinner. But when we got home, my son he wanted to have a Marvel Studios marathon watch. So we actually watch movies. He is a Marvel fan. So we watched movies and fell asleep watching movies. Still with the movies playing. So kind of woke up before him. He's still knocked out until he comes down here and asks me for some food. He is a boy can eat. Joaquin said he shot it yesterday. It's smooth compared to the RPR. I really like it. Cool, brother. Yeah, I like shooting 22, man. I don't know if a lot of you know. If you see my last video, it says testing. I recently got approved for my tax stamp. They called me and I was happy. If a lot of you follow me on Instagram, you probably see it, but because normally I post more often on Instagram because it's quicker. With YouTube, I gotta edit and I gotta find time to do it. But I got that my tax stamp for my 22 suppressor, man, and I've been letting rounds go, figuring out different ammo that it likes and what have you. So I if I say any regrets about the suppressor, I do. I wish when I purchased this 22 can, I wish I would have purchased another one because the weight was the pain in the butt for me. It took them like my total was like 10 months. And I'm gonna do a video on my first experience basically being a new uh I don't want to say a suppressor owner, but going through the process. I'm gonna do like a little video, and it's probably people that have videos out there like that, but uh I'm gonna do my process or basically yeah, it did get hot, Joaquin. Yeah, I ran a lot of ammo through it. Actually, let me tell you what I did also. There was some other individuals at the range, a guy and a woman, and it looked like they was trying to show the woman how to shoot. And the guy came up. He said, "Hey man, can I record you?" He said, "Man, that's a 22. That's real quiet." I said, "Yeah, it's got a suppressor on it." So I don't know what he was recording for. It didn't bother me to be recorded. We're in a public range. People gonna have phones out just like I do sometimes. So, and actually, I've got that. I was recording at the time, so they were shooting all kind of. I know they had a Ruger. What's the like the PC charger? They had one of those, and um, I told them, I said, "Have y'all ever shot suppress?" Because they were kind of fascinated by it, just like I was when I first time I ever shot suppress. And he was like, "No." I said, "Man, y'all come down here. I'm gonna let y'all shoot this." I said, "But I'm gonna forewarn you. If you shoot it, you're probably gonna have to buy one." I said, "You're gonna like it that much. At least I did." So, uh, let's see. Who else we got out there? Echo said, "Jeremy, leave a link to your channel." What did Jeremy say? Did I miss it? Hey, Jeremy Gunslinger. Yeah, man. Life is always busy. So at the you guys know I am one of the panel members on Georgia Shooting Connection. And not recently, some months back, TMS, hey brother, some months back, they built us a new shop, and that was in the works for well over 20 years. So they built us a new shop, huge facility, more lifts, and just like everybody else, we kind of was short on staff. So I kind of the role I hold it at my workplace is I'm a technician, right? But I do a lot of the administrative. Like I'm not a supervisor, but I do some of the lead stuff. So I deal with talking to customers. Y'all guys know I work for the local government. So or if you don't now, you do. I work for the local government. Helping servicing and repairing. Um, the police, fire, county vehicles and stuff like that. So I'm dealing with a lot of those superiors as far as scheduling stuff for their vehicles, warranty work and stuff like that, scheduling it to go back to the manufacturer. So with that, and I'll tell you another thing. So my job is, they're kind of lenient with me because they know I'm a single dad of a special needs child. They work with me on my schedule because last year when the Rona hit, it presented some challenges for my life situation. Daycare didn't want to take my son, which he's only been there like forever since I got custody of him back in 2014. So they kind of was like they didn't have space, so that I had to use like all my annual time. And so anyway, now I've got a new supervisor, and they are they work with my schedule. What that means totally, on Fridays I have to work late, so I'm not able to be on the live stream. Um, so dang, a lot of y'all came out there. TMS, Floyd Hicks, NY Outcast. What's up, brother? Kingpin, Big Al. He says, "Wow, I miss you on the live chats, brother." Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna start back posting, man. I got some videos that I got content up here that I just need to put on here and load it up. I'm overdue for a video on a product that probably a lot of you guys have seen. Um, then I'm gonna do a video on my process of going through my tax stamp process, and then I've got a 300 blackout build that I've basically completed, just an upper. I'll do the lower later, but I can always slap that upper on my other lowers. So Echo says I used to tell all the Orange County Transportation Sheriff Department cars, ambulance, tow trucks, and like, yeah, man, and with that, me working in local government, man, sometimes it can be a big job. You know what I mean? It's relaxed, but our what I want to say, our first responders are priority over any of our other county vehicles. So like, just say like water department or the tax assessors. If they come in talking they need something, but the PD or the sheriff department or like our marshals come in and they need something, our first responders get first priority. So I'll tell them, hey, you got to leave it. But the PD, like, we service their stuff there or repaired, and sometimes a lot of times I'm there late. And like I said, I gotta respect that because like my my leadership now, my management, my supervisors, they work with my schedule. Stuff happens sometimes. I'm at work and my child care provider, if they call me or if the school calls me, I gotta go. I'm not explaining nothing to nobody. I'm like, I go to my boss, like, hey, I gotta go. I got an issue. You know what I mean? So, like I said, my son has his issues sometimes, or sometimes he's overwhelmed, or what he call a meltdown. And if I gotta go, I gotta go. I ain't gotta explain nothing. My coworkers with their nosy asses, where you going? Mind your business. You know what I mean? I'm not asking you. Well, I'm not asking you how come your wife cheated on you. You know what I mean? And I'm being a smart ass, but but sometimes I gotta go, and a lot of them don't understand that, and they ain't gotta understand it. It ain't for them to understand. As long as me and my supervisor know, and his boss and all them, their leadership knows, because they know if I'm there, I'm busting my ass. I'm doing whatever they ask of me within the legal limits and the ethics of it. So see you, keep Kingpin. Sorry if I missed you. He said, Kingpin, really good to see you, sir. Take care, brother. Oh yeah, no problem, brother. Good seeing you. Thanks for jumping in on the live chat. I had to clear up after the flip. Yeah. So yeah, I got some things coming up. Let's see. We got Echo, Kingpin, Joaquin. What is Warsaw said? He said he found something at a price. I see money. When I start seeing money. Big Al, he's good, man. He is growing. I always have a prayer for you and him, and the other folks mean a lot to me. Thanks, Big Al, man. You mean a lot to us too, man. And all of our community members, everybody's got their issues and their challenges in life, and it's good that as a community, YouTube family, we always support each other. That's the good thing about it. So Warsaw said $12.99 for 20 rounds. What is it? 7.62 by 39. Yeah, steel case, red army standard. That's awesome, especially if you found it locally. I try to. Let me tell you one thing that I dislike: purchasing ammo or purchasing anything, and the shipping outweighs the cost. So if you want to do a cost price per round or something, you take whatever that let's say $12.99 for 20 rounds, and if there's shipping included, you add that shipping and then you divide it by the number of rounds, and then you get your price per round. Sometimes within the last year or two, people have been taking advantage of that. So but the good thing, I've started to see an ammo come back in stock. We're starting to see powder come back in stock, and so hopefully we'll start seeing primers are out there. They're just still kind of pricey from compared to what we used to get them at. I've talked to a lot of people, and they ask me, a lot of other people that knows I reload. They say, "Good morning, JH brother. How you doing?" Uh, I remember getting 1,000 primers for like 30 and $40, and so a lot of people have reached out and asked me would I make the memo, and I'm like, definitely not. I don't even have the primers to keep up with my my normal training. So yeah. So hopefully that price will start coming back down. I know when everything first happened, us reloaders who've been doing it, like me, I'm still a new reloader, starting like 2017, and I know people like JH and Uncle Jim and Echo. I know they remember when primers were like, I don't know, probably $20 for 1,000, or maybe even $10 for 1,000 of them. So yeah, prices are starting to come back down, and let's see. Yeah, prices are starting to come back down. So we're starting to see stuff, and even firearms and stuff. I'm starting to see more of them come out and start getting back down to that reasonable price. Not reasonable, an acceptable price level. It's not never going to be reasonable like it was. So, but yeah, but let me show you what I got. This may help some of the reloaders. For me, I think it did. That's why I purchased it. Let me show y'all real quick as soon as I find this bag. Oh, right here. I know everybody knows Harbor Freight. I love Harbor Freight. They've got some stuff that's works good, and sometimes they don't. Let's see. Tim Miss says he paid $27.50 for 500 rounds at an auction yesterday. That's awesome. Was that I'm assuming you're talking about. Hey, Keith Gregory. I'm assuming you're talking about 7.62 by 39. That's awesome. So this is what I got from Harbor Freight. I know it's like it. What is it? It's a box, right? It is a box, but I'll show you what it is. It says stacking tilt bin, and they look like they got some earphones in there, but it's a 4-inch. There's 4-inch right here, and these are only like $1.99. So that's what they do. You put whatever you want in it, and the bins tilt out, which I think is good. I was gonna make a video on this, but then I was like, nah, since I'm gonna go live, I'm gonna talk about it. So the good thing is you can mount it to a wall or a bench or something. Those are like those hanging hooks. You can put it in there and drop it down there to hang. I probably won't do that because I'll probably stuff them with projectiles. But I'll show you if you buy. What I did buy. I bought 4 of them, or purchased 4 of them, and what they do, they interlock together. So it's got these 2 slots. You see the little channel. It's got a channel there and a channel on the bottom. And then it's even got channels on the top. Yeah, right here. You can't see because of the sticker. So they do interlock together, which I think is, even if you're not a reloader, you guys, like I said, I'm a gearhead. So I'm always have, nuts and bolts and other little stuff that needs to be organized. So I think that's pretty sweet for $2. Just in time. That's Brother Will. Just in time preparedness. You got Tim S. Warsaw. Daniel. Hey, Daniel. I'm not sure on that. Daniel. Who else? Let me see. So, yeah, these little stackable bins, I'm sure they'll come in handy. I probably won't mount them to the wall because I've got other stuff mounted to the wall, but I'll probably leave them stacked on my bench somewhere. And yeah, let's see. Put you some primers in there. Nah, that's probably not a good idea. Well, anyway, but yeah, you can put your brass in there and stuff like that. So I figured I'd do a little video. Here's actually everybody likes photos, so that's what I seen at Harbor Freight when I seen the picture. I was like, let me go check these out. So yeah, and if you're looking for, if you want to order them online, I never order online, but some people do. So if a Harbor Freight's not near you, or you just not a store person or social person, you don't want to go to a store, there is the SKU. Someone told me ordering online Harbor Freight is the bomb. So OL1 guy, what's up, brother? Oh, TMS. He said 27.50 for small pistol primers. Okay, awesome. Yeah, you did better than me. I was at one of my local stores. Oh yeah, JH586. I don't want to say I got a little content, but I do have a little content that I'm saving. It ain't long at all for my Let Freedom Ring video. If any of you are unfamiliar, the Let Freedom Ring, the hashtag on July 4th, 5 p.m. Let Freedom Ring. We flood YouTube with the Let Freedom Ring videos, so that'll be a pleasure. I always get excited watching everyone's videos, and I find a lot of new channels that I follow because of that hashtag. Kind of people with the same goal as far as the Second Amendment, from a Second Amendment standpoint. But if you think about the diversity of it, because our reloading community is full of different people with different opinions, but a lot of us have kind of the same. I don't want to say mindset, but we got the same thinking as far as the Second Amendment. We don't want nobody taking our rights. We don't want nobody, telling us what we can and cannot have. So yeah. Drew Bradley, Ram 4x4. What's up, brother? TMS said he said that would work with the Lee Limp tools I use Harbor Freight. Yeah, yeah. So like what I have now for I've got a little small tool thing. That's what I like keep some of my dies in, like the dies that I don't want to keep in the boxes. And can I pivot this over? My workbench is junky than a mug. So like I think I found that at like the thrift store for like $1 or $2. So I wish they would have had more. And Harbor Freight sells something like this. It's a tool bin, and I think it's like 17 or 19 bucks, and it comes with the screws, almost the exact same size of that. So but yeah, that's what I had planned on. I'll figure something out for them to go in, but the let's see. So the tools, like your dies and stuff, they will fit in here, I'm sure. So here is a Lee 300 blackout. I think this is a trim die that fits in there. Put that in there. We got a sizer die. Yeah, we got something else. So that was a little long, but yeah. So they will work, for some good items. We got let's see, just for the size comparison. That is a stream light, one of my work lights, or pocket light rather. Not quite. Well, it fits in there if I turn it a different way, but I never keep this. That's always easily accessible. Let's see. What else? Who I miss out there? Sorry, guys. If I'm missing you, this is I just in time. You okay? I knew that's what threw me off. You've changed your channel name a little bit, Will. Because it used to be just in time prepping. Gotcha, preparedness. He says I just purchased a Derringer and having a hard time finding ammunition for it. What caliber, brother Will? Warsaw person said I should get an office chair. Yeah, I've had one. I had one, but the chair I'm in is like one of those high bench chairs because the bench sits up. Um, and I end up breaking that chair down, the office chair. Let's see. Okay, we got other people out there. Keith Gregory says what caliber? He says my bun. Okay, that's Warsaw. All right, Joaquin, thanks for joining, brother. Be safe. Same to you, brother. Appreciate it. Brother Will said 410 and 45. It look like you bought two Derringers. Oh no. It's the same. It's the okay, yeah. It's a I don't want to say a dual, but yeah. My coworker has one of those Derringers. It's the same caliber. I think it's 410 and 45 long coat if I'm not mistaken. JH5AC, I got to put a fuel pump in the 9800 core. Should I buy the pump or the whole assembly? Oh, are you sure? That's very rare that they go out, Jamie. I mean, JH586. I would buy the whole assembly. Uh, I have a 98 Accord. But that body style goes from 98 to 02, and I've had a 99 and a 2000. Those are good cars, man. They are good gas savers. I would buy the whole assembly, Jamie, but look on like Rock Auto, and then look on Amazon. But that's cake. It's in you can access it from the trunk. You pull that trunk back, and then there's 3 screws on a plate, and you pop it out. Drew Bradley. He says, Drew Bradley said, do you have a local Harbor Freight? They have these tip out buckets too. I have to look and see the tip out buckets. The only thing about this that I don't like, but I can fix it. I know how. So if I use the mounting holes, okay, if you're wherever your bench is or wherever you're gonna store these, I see dust getting in here, right? But I'm not gonna probably use these. I'm gonna tape them up so that spiders and other stuff don't get in it, dust or whatever. That's the only thing that I see. Not a downfall. For $2, I'll definitely use it. So oops, let's go that way. Let's see. Fuse is good, relay is good. I got power to the pump connection when you turn the key. Yeah, it could be the sending unit, but that's the sending unit is part of the whole pump. It's not cost effective to just replace just the sending unit because you got to pull the pump anyway. Now, JH, those Hondas have a main relay. That's what it's called. It's called a main relay. I've had an 89 Accord, and you get the same. You get a similar issue or complaint that the you're not getting fuel or whatever. So that main relay is not like an average size relay, not like your typical square relays. This thing is huge, and they normally put it on the kick panel on the driver's side, right where your left foot will go, and it's a pain to get to. On my 89 Accord, man, one of those went out, and I tried to order a new one. I'm like, I just order a brand new one. That thing was like $300. I went to pull parts, and I grabbed like 4 of them out of different vehicles, Civics, Hondas, Preludes, and out of the what did I say, 6, maybe 4, but out of the 4 or 6 that I grabbed, only 2 of them worked. So the solder connection breaks on them. Yeah, 1A Auto, yeah, they do good stuff. I started to do some automotive videos, repair. The only thing about that is where I work, I really can't necessarily post that stuff because of we've got a policy at my job as far as like, so if y'all ever seen like, I did a video where I was showing that vehicle that was all shot up with 9mm. That was like a training car that they use to shoot, like a shoot car that they drive around and shoot out of. You notice I didn't post any badges on it. Like, so to saying what department or what county or what government agency I work for, because we have a strict policy against that. Uncle Jim, yeah, coffee chat. And yeah, I don't know if y'all are coffee snobs like me, but it is my opinion that Dunkin' Donuts has the best coffee. That is my opinion. There we go. Warsaw said, gotta love Dunkin'. Yeah, NY Outcast says, I guess 1A Auto is cheaper than Rock Auto. I would agree. The thing with Rock Auto, I'll put the thing what I use Rock Auto for to get the part numbers, and I'll take that part number and put it in Amazon. So Rock Auto has different tiers, which I like about, they have like your economy base parts, then you got a daily driver and you got a professional part or something like that. So there's different levels of price, but sometimes their shipping sucks. So Drew says, I'm almost 50 and I'm too young to be drinking coffee. Morning, Uncle Jim. Tim S says, hey, Georgia weather is up here in Missouri. Needs to go back down here. I got a donkey and an orc fight in the swamp. Nothing rhymes with Rock Auto, Uncle Jim says. Yeah, so what has everyone, and Uncle Jim, that's what I was saying before you got on here. I was watching your live stream last night when we were having dinner. And I made a deal with my son, and he wanted to watch Marvel movies, so we watched a few Marvel movies. He likes Marvel movies, so, and I meant to tune back in, but I ended up falling asleep. So oops, I didn't mean to do that. So yeah, we were marveled out last night, and I think he's still asleep. That's why I came down here. I was like, let me go down here and see if I can get on a live stream, sort of, see if I still got it, see if I still know how to do it. Let's see who else we got out there. Did Uncle Jim just jump in here? Uncle Jim, I know you got Rock Autos somewhere. Did you see these things here? These tip out bins. This is what I can't say it's what I scored. It's what I purchased at Harbor Freight. They were like $2, $1.99. And they slide together. They got these channels in them. I'll show you. I got one put together, or 3 of them put together. Damn tape is on it, so it's got the sticker on it that's keeping that door closed. So yeah. They're 4 inches, but I like them because they slide together. They just got these channels to lock through. So, oh, let's see what else is out there. Who else is out there? Warsaw said, "Yep, we watch all of the Marvel movies. Warsaw, yeah, the series, the cartoons, all of that." Echo said he's drinking cappuccino. Oh, Tim S, those containers, they were $1.99. Here is the SKU, and that's what it's called. Let's see. Actually, I'm sorry. This is what it's called. 4-inch stacking bin by Storehouse for $1.99. Well, not bad. Let me tell you what I was at Harbor Freight looking for. My my riding lawnmower, it seized on me Thursday. I was cutting the grass, and I knew it was gonna go. I knew it was. It started getting louder months back, and I was just like, "Oh, let me check the oil. It's got oil in it." So I service all my vehicles and equipment and stuff like that, just like I do at the job. And it started getting louder. And it was still dry. I mean, it was still cutting the grass, and I was just like, it's gonna go soon. And Thursday, before the rain came, I was like, let me finish cutting this backyard, and you know, so that way I don't have to do it. Friday it's gonna be raining, so um, and I was cutting the grass, and it let loose on the inside of the engine. And it was like blah 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 blah. And I cut it off because I didn't want to clean up oil and aluminum in my backyard because that's where my garden is. We eat from our garden. Um, and it seized up. So me being a mechanic, I want to know why stuff works and why it does not work. So I uh I broke it down right there. I put it, not in the yard. I put it in the driveway because if it was gonna leak, or if it was gonna leak in it, and I drained the oil, and the oil was like Uncle Jim's favorite. It was glittery, and if a lot of you know, the metallic shavings, it was on the inside. It was that oil was damn, yeah, it was glittery. So, but what is it? And I'll tell you, if anyone knows, it is a Kohler Courage. They work good when they work, but they are prone to failure. So one of the boats backed out of the it's like the connecting rod assembly basically. They call it what do they call it? It's like an end cap or something, but yeah, it backed out and it started hitting on the cover. So that was the loud noise I heard. So and then eventually when it backed all the way out and it let loose and yeah, so I was looking for a motor at Harbor Freight, long story short, a vertical shaft motor. And I was looking for I'm not gonna buy another Kohler. I was looking for uh a Briggs and Stratton or something like that. But it's gotta be at least like 15 horsepower. That motor is like 18 horsepower. So it can't have a tank on it because obviously my riding lawnmower has a tank on it, and it's gotta have a oil filter on it. So I'm probably gonna have to bite the bullet and buy one through like Home Depot or Amazon. They're not cheap. They're like $500. So Warsaw, what kind of CZ you have? I know you said the Scotsman's gonna hate you now because you got a Glock 19. People. You know what? People hate. Well, I ain't gonna say hate. People talk a lot about the Glock 19, or like Glocks in general. I've never had any of my Glocks do me wrong. So yeah, they've always, and I've shot in everything in them. One thing for reloaders and casters, they tell us you can't shoot cast bullets through a Glock barrel or polygonal rifle, and man, I shoot it through it. It's a barrel, so I shoot it through it. Mario Mosen, good morning, brother. NYC said he's a classic roast. The best part of waking up. Lots of people don't like the Fantastic Four. I like the movies and all the superhero movies. Yeah. Let's see who else is out there. Nick, brother Nick. Hey, brother, how you doing? Yeah, Uncle Jim, it was messed up. So, all right, Ram. Thanks for stopping by, brother. I'm random. I probably gonna cut this off at an hour because I didn't really have any topics. I just wanted to show those Harbor Freight containers and see who was out there. 75B. That's a good pistol. Warsaw. Awesome, NY. He said he just got a new mower for Father's Day. Kids gave him $100 on Home Depot gift card. Trees are blowing. Good morning, Mr. Dunn. How you doing, sir? Yeah, Nick. That's what I was telling earlier. My my work schedule has changed a bit. And this is one thing that I've always knew as when I was younger. They say there's a saying, and somebody may say it. They say, it goes, he who much is given, much is required. Right. So at my job, my employer, they look out for me because they know I'm a single parent, and they work with me when stuff happens. So when they came with me with the schedule change, I wasn't feeling it at first, but I had to think about like the longevity of it. Like, they do look out for me. They do understand, and because employers, especially in the state of Georgia, we are a what is the saying? Jamie's gonna help me. The saying is we are a like an at will state, so they don't have to give you a reason to let you go at all. So they can hire you and fire you on the spot like that. So um, they look out for me. So I kind of when my name was called to be part of the extended hours plus I do a lot of administrative work and have there you go, Jamie, a right to work state. So because I do a lot of administrative work beyond the technician or beyond our other technicians, I've got access to certain our drives because I work for local government. It's all kind of like confidential stuff, like who is driving this vehicle and uh because we have we've got like undercover vehicles, right? We've got people driving 98 Honda Accords, you know what I mean, and Cadillac Escalades, and they are plainclothes officers or government officials, right? So I have access to who drives that and with contact numbers. So they kind of they was like, "You are the man to do it." I was just like, "I don't want to do it." They was like, "Look, man, we do." The good thing they didn't say that they didn't directly say, "Hey, we look out for you or we do this for you." But that's what they said. They didn't have to directly say it, so I kind of understood. I was like, yeah, no problem. So, uh, I'm appreciative that they do work with my schedule. But being a single dad of a special needs child, sometimes I got to get the hell on. I'm at work. I could be doing a job. I can have a transmission out, and somebody could be waiting on that vehicle. I'm like, I gotta go. Sorry, the school called me. So yeah, Nick, I'm gonna try to get back on there, man. We've started hiring people, but normally sometimes we don't sometimes people come and they just don't work out, and y'all know how that goes, especially with a lot of stuff that was going on in the last year. People found out, or I assume more people could stay at home and sit on their butts and make more money than what they were doing working hard. So I'm unfortunately am not like that. Plus my job title, when everybody could work from home, we were considered the essential employees. Like because they was like, how are you gonna work on a vehicle from home? I'm like, yeah, you're right. I gotta be there. So uh Jason Stewart, morning. Red October, hey brother. Yeah. Actually, yep. Red. He said go with it or they'll find someone else. And I always, you know, I'm never like the person be like, fire me, I can get unemployment. No, because unemployment don't take care of my financials. Even though I do a lot of side work and sometimes that just pushes me over, it helps me out. But you know, my bills don't stop, my bills don't stop. My son don't stop eating, and he grows. So I'm buying clothes for him like every 3 months. So yeah, Nick. But I can tell you, man, if you ever over there, man, hopefully JH is in the side chat. Hopefully, if you ask any questions, they'll definitely they'll help you out, man. I appreciate you being over there. Hey, bruh. Hey, look, man. This is the first troll I've ever got. So thank you, but I'm gonna go ahead and put you on, bro. Get up out of here, man. He said, Jay said, I miss you on Friday nights, but I always, no matter what, I got you. But, oh, yeah, appreciate it, brother. Thank you. I know JH got a wrench. Let me see. I got to give some of my other brothers a wrench out there because that was my first ever troll. I don't know if y'all seen that. He said, yo, my Nigerian. Get up out of here, bro. Dang. Oh, I guess I got to, no. Sorry. There you go. Hide you on this channel. I normally only handle the trolls on like everybody else's everybody else's live stream. William C. Chapin, hey brother. Uncle Jim's laughing because Uncle Jim know he always gets trolls, not me. Oh yeah. And so make sure y'all check out the Reloading podcast. It happens on Tuesdays at 8. Great group of guys over there. You got Mike, you got Jim, you got Pink Shears that's over there. You got Jason, and who am I missing? Oh, Travis from Buckeye Targets. They always have a good they always have a good stream, you know, talking about sometimes in-depth stuff, rifle shooting, I mean rifle reloading and stuff like that. That trips me out about the troll. And all I did first was remove his comment. I forgot I got to remove him from the stream. Oh, bro, bro. No, you gotta. I'm sorry, I gotta hide him. There we go. He was hidden. I am a skank. Dang. See, they say if you get trolls, you got to be doing something right, or you know, maybe not. Um, I have no doubt in my mind that children get on here and play, and all they need is some love. That's all they need. They just need a father in their life. I can't be your daddy, but I'll claim you on my taxes if you send me your social security number. No, I'm just playing. NY Outcast said he said got to work day and put down concrete floor patch. Wow. Then replace alternator and clean up yard waste in another place. No rest for the yeah, man. You know, people ask me a lot. They be like, man, how you do it? I said, well, I just keep going. Let me tell you. Boy, this right here helps me out a lot. I may pay for it through the week, like on a Wednesday or something. I'll get off. As soon as I hit the house and the couch and feed my son, I'm out. This is yeah, rare. They need a father figure. They need a role model. And they still coming in. There you go. I know how to get rid of you. Bam. I'm going up. Moving on up. Well, the troll is coming. That's got to be the same troll. He said, what's up, my Nigerian? I am not Nigerian. I'm just light-skinned. I'm a real boy. Dang, man. Hey, look. That's got to be Meg out here playing. That's got to be Meg out here playing. Let me see if I can go in here and let's see. Yeah, Barney the dinosaur. Oh, you one of them. I see. You one of them. Bruh. Hey, look, y'all hang tight. I'm still y'all talking the side chat. I gotta go in here and add some more Yo. Hey, William C. Chapin, sorry. He said, wow, this is intense. Yeah, I gotta go in here and add some more wrenches. I'm sorry. Hey, hating on the brother. Let's see. It's been a minute since I did this. I hope everyone doing good. William C. Chapin, what have you been shooting lately? Mario, did you send a troll over here? Let me go through and find my settings because I forget where they're at. Now, yeah, bruh. You know what, man? Good night. Let's see. Yeah, I was gonna post a link out there, but then Shrek 5 and Shrek 7. Hey, look, Shrek 5 and Shrek 7. If you want to send any money to my Cash App, you can do that. It's just searching Cash App Chico Wise. You will find me because you want some attention, and if you do that, I'll send you a heart back when you send a deposit. So, go figure. Man. Anyway, let's get back to the comments. You know, the thing about the trolls, you don't feed them because they're hungry. So, NYC Reloader. Hey, brother, I was thinking about you on the real. No homo. I was wondering how you was doing out there by Cranky. Yeah, Uncle Jim said this is what happens when people don't work. William C. Chapin says I've been doing a few different things, some 30 hertz, 357 hertz, and Mills hertz stuff. I've been working. I type 99. I've been seeing those videos at Arasaka. So I know, man. That's crazy though. You know, people. I gotta write this date down. June 27th. I've had Troll Stew up in here. I guess they really got mad when they said they need a father figure. They do. Bless their hearts. Everyone knows when you say that what that means. Bless their hearts. Texican, hey brother. Let's see where are we at. I totally dislike that YouTube changed the all the settings and stuff like that. So it used to be so easy to find stuff. Anybody shooting today? Let's see. There we go. Settings. Echo. I'll tell you what I have been doing too. I have been doing inventory and brass prep. And I've got a video coming out on brass prep. Awesome. NYC Reloaded said headed to the range this afternoon. There we go. Good question out there, Drew Bradley. Oh yeah, Red October. Same to you, man. And if y'all are unfamiliar with Red October, shame on y'all. Red does a lot of good. To me, it's inspirational videos that makes you think outside, man. And he does some live streams, and it gets the brain working to start thinking about stuff. So yeah, y'all check out Red October if you're not subscribed to him, man. He definitely has good content. Yeah, anytime, Red brother, you know that. Yeah, Kenny is out at Competition Dynamics shooting. So yeah, let's see. He said Kenny should be. Oh yeah, William C. Chapin. Nick is the Milsurp guy. Let's see what else we got out there. Jamie, are you at home? Are you near your computer or something? You want a link? Or let me see. Need a refill. If you want one, I'll send you one. And anybody else want one, I'll send them one. Except for a troll, because you need a father figure. And a job, like Uncle Jim says, and a job. Job. TMS said he's got a Stevens 20 gauge. He needs to test fire. You know what? I got a 20 gauge Remington, like is it an 870? No. It's something. It's a semi-automatic. I can't think of it, what it is. And I let my son shoot that thing, but you load it up and pull the trigger, charge it and pull the trigger. And my son, he didn't want to do it, but then he's always skeptical about those first shots. He don't like loading magazines. So, I'm trying to get him more involved because he likes emptying them, but he don't like he says, how did the guy from Georgia learn to spell a big word? Yeah, so yep. So yeah, the sometimes when I can get on with the reloading podcast, I always sometimes I'm listening and watching at the job, listening to my ear when I'm working, right? Sometimes these live streams, if they're showing something like show and tell, if they're showing you a process how to do something, you got to kind of do more than listen. But I listen to a lot of stuff, so sometimes I won't comment because I'm listening at the job where my phone is in the office or on my toolbox, and I'm listening, to kind of have that something else going besides work, work, work. Let's see. I wonder did Guitar Man Pete. Things with primers not so well, but I've seen powder crazy. I've seen powder come in stock, and it's looking good. I seen an 8-pound jug of Hazen 4350 yesterday, an 8-pound jug for like $315. Didn't excite me too much on the price because as long as you let it sit there, the price will come down. unless somebody goes there and buys it. So, morning, Paul. Did Nick leave? Okay. Yeah, Drew, I agree, man. Yeah, that's dedication right there. Because obviously that they're on Mama's internet or something like that. Obviously, to make all those accounts. But some people, I don't. You know what? Let me tell you what trolls are. Trolls are just, in my opinion, they are just scammers in the making. I recently had some scam stuff go on my there we go. He woke up. What's up, bro? Good morning. Hold on 1 second. I'll be right back. What do you need?
Good choices.
You making good choices? How'd you sleep?
Good.
How was the Marvel movie?
Good.
Okay, what do you want?
Hot Wheels.
What? You use your words. What do you need, son?
How may I want Hot Wheels music?
Okay, you got plenty of Hot Wheels. Okay, see, that's not a Hot Wheel. Come here. What is that? Sorry, guys. What is that?
Hot Wheels.
What is this? What is this? Tell me what it is.
It's a game.
What is this thing right here?
Enter passcode.
You want me to enter the passcode on what? On the iPad? Okay, here.
Good choices.
Great choices. All right. Don't be erasing nothing. Love you, bro. See, let me tell y'all something. See, trolls, that's all you need is a little love like that. Did you see what I just did with my son? He know he's loved. I think it's 1187 if I ain't mistaken, Echo. Echo said I'll be a father figure if you send me a link. You know what? I'm gonna send out these links real quick. It's been a minute since I did it. There we go. Invite. Actually, what I'll do, copy and let's email. All right, Jamie, I got one coming to you. Let's see. Because Jamie will be able to help me out so I keep everybody entertained. There we go. I think I'll send it to. Actually, I'm probably gonna be sending it to a lot, Jamie. Let me know if this one don't go, and then I'll send it to the other one. Sorry, I'm not ignoring y'all. Just trying to multitask. Or some hickory. Oops. See, I work with a lot of 8-7 is not 11-87. Hidden Steel. Good morning, bro. I'm gonna wait to the Lord's house. Awesome. There we go. Let me see. Jamie sent me that from. Let's see. Reply. There we go. I had to grab your other email, Jamie, and I'm gonna send it. So it should be in there soon. Let's see if I got my volume up. What else? What else? I think Echo's out there too. Let's see. Sent you one too, Echo. Let's see. God is good. Yes, sir. Let's see what else is out there. Who else is out there? Hey, you know what some of you should do if you've never done it? If you've never been on a live stream, now would be the perfect time. And you don't even have to turn your camera on. You can do just like this right here. And you don't have to have an avatar, but because it is my opinion, you don't know if you like something unless you try it. So let's see if I got volume so I can find out when Jamie and Echo comes in. So yeah, you never know if you like something until you try it. So let's see. But there we go. There goes somebody. Did I do it?
What's up, brother?
JH.
Hey, man.
How you been?
Better than I deserve. How you, brother?
Good, man. You know, I'm a little congested, but I can only assume that came from my son and stuff with the child care provider. Um, all those germs. He had something and then he ended up giving it to me. Jamie, do you have Chappie's email?
Curtis,
Yes, sir.
somewhere.
Because I don't
I
have
don't
it. I
think
just
I
searched.
do. Let me find out. Hold on a minute. You
Oh
want me
yeah,
to
Red
forward him
October.
this
Thanks,
link?
brother.
Do what?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was talking to the side chat.
Let me see if I can forward him this link.
Yeah. Uh, William C. Chapin, we'll have Jamie send it because I don't have your email. At least I don't think. I think before we messaged it on like um Discord or something, and I may have it in my other email. Let's see, because I know some people are shy about, and the reason why I said that now would be the perfect time for any of you guys to get on. People are shy about letting the trolls see you on YouTube. Well, that's not what it is. Some people don't have cameras, but I understand that. So, uh, he said I got 10 minutes. I got on Discord, but I can't find the channel name and the number for the chat. There we go. Echo.
Man, I ain't got Curtis's email no more. I changed phones, so you know how that goes, don't you?
Yes, sir.
You get a new
Echo,
phone.
welcome, brother.
What is going on this morning, gentlemen? How are you two doing today?
Very well. I'm not bad at all. How about yourself?
I'm doing well. I'm doing very well. I'm just hanging out on this fine morning and enjoying the sunshine.
Awesome. Yeah. So, how's the weather down there? Good.
Oh, yeah, it's beautiful outside. It's a little warm, and but it's not too humid and pretty nice.
Awesome. Let me answer the question I had inside. Paul, he said, "Have I ever thought about doing a Form One suppressor?" I have, and doing my whole suppressor weight. That's what I was thinking the whole time. I was like, man, I should have did a Form One. Should have did a Form One, and I have some reserves about that. But there are some members in our community that have done it and pretty successful at doing it and uh quieting down those shots pretty good. So yeah, I probably and the main reason why I thought about doing it was because of the time. The 30 day, I mean 30 days to 3 months or something like that. Some people quicker. Um so yeah, I may look into that. You kind of in the same price as a huge company manufactured suppressor, whether it be 5, 6, 7, 800, $900. If you do a Form One, if you're doing a good one, as far as getting it built, you kind of in the same price range for the product, but the wait time is substantially less based on what I've researched. And I'm part of those groups all on like Facebook and stuff like that, those Form One suppressor groups, because I've definitely researched it. William C. Chapman said, if I put on a sleeveless shirt and show my guns, will you get a channel strike? Probably. Yeah. Uh, Paul says he said you don't save much money, any money except with 22s, but it's hard to spend 750 and wait 11 to 15 months. Yeah. Lakeview Outdoors, man, I'm liking it. I have yet to put it on a rifle because I really don't have any rifles that's threaded besides my 308. But I do have um I purchased my son I purchased him a Ruger Charger, if y'all are familiar. It's a 1022 pistol, basically. And the reason why I purchased it because it was threaded. So Booze and Bullet says he wasn't expecting a chat this morning. Yeah. I'm random as heck, man. And you probably don't know that, but you do now. I'm random sometimes. But yeah, like you, I do like the can, man. Jamie, what have you been up to, man?
Look, man, work is like, you know what work can get like. Then still trying to keep the live stream going, so I'm pretty much getting more involved in CMA and in church, and I feel wore out. You know what I mean? You ever get like
I know
that?
how that is. You know what? Every Monday when I go back to work, they ask me. They say, "How was your weekend?" I say, "Not long enough."
Ain't
And
never long. I'm looking so forward to being retired, brother. I just hope the Lord blesses me good enough to live a long time where I can really drain them of all the money that I have poured into retirement over the years. I'm sure you know that feeling.
oh yeah, I know. I've got a long way to go. Um, and I'm gonna shoot a shot in the dark just in case he wants one. I'll send Uncle Jim a link. I know he's out there probably drinking his coffee, looking at the rock wall, the salt wall over there. So, yeah, Uncle Jim, I thought about that. You know, the charger when I purchased it, it came with the bipod. I mean, it's a little cheap bipod, but one thing I want to get for it is the brace because you can't put a stock on it, but they do sell a brace. I just gotta get the little connector for it. So, um, yeah, I am liking the can. I'm definitely liking the can. I've
So
only shot it like 3 times.
I got me one of those Chinese copies of the Atlas bipod, put it on my 6.5 Creedmoor. So looking
Have you
forward to
shot it
getting
yet?
that. No, I haven't. I've shot the Creedmoor, but not with that bipod on it. You need to go with me, man. Uh, I got some test loads loaded up, but I bought the Ruger American Predator, and then I got the Magpul Hunter stock to go on it.
Uh-huh.
I put the Arkin SH4 Gen 2 on there, 6x50,
Right.
and then I got the Atlas bipod clone thing on there. And I watched Uncle Jim's got a good video of what to do, and I fixed it up like he did on his video. And yeah, man.
So you've
I'm
already
thinking,
changed that stock over, that Hunter
oh
stock?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I like that stock. When I was purchasing when I was looking to purchase my my Ruger Predator, that's what I was looking for. I think it was a 20-inch barrel though. I was looking for one already set up with that Hunter Magpul Hunter stock on it. I like that stock.
You,
It's a heavy stock though.
it is heavy. It ain't something you want to carry around and climb up in a tree stand with, but for shooting distance,
On a bench or
sitting
something.
on a bench, yeah.
Yeah, when target rifles and hunting rifles are nowhere near the same thing. And when you are out in the woods, you can settle for a 2-3 MOA rifle with a lightweight barrel, and like I'm talking a 5 pound, 4 3/4 pound deer rifle. Something that shoots 3 MOA is going to get you your deer, and it's going to be easy for you to pack on your back or on horseback, and get up and down out of trees, stands, and stuff like that. These precision rifles, they are very accurate, but you start humping around that barrel weight, or even worse, if you have a chassis system like I do, there's no way I'd want to carry that thing through the woods. Maybe when I was 19, but not now.
Right. But no, man, I ain't using a 3.0 MOA rifle to hunt with. Remember, I forget who it was that said it, but maybe Larry Potterfield. The only accurate rifles are interesting rifles. I've heard him quote that, and he said who said it, but
Yeah, but I mean, a 3 inches at 100 yards or 6 inches at 200 yards, that's not unacceptable accuracy. When you think about like a lever gun or something, that's about what a 30-30 is at 100 yards.
Not
You
my
know, if you're
30-30.
shooting from a shoulder, maybe
My 30-30 is MOA, man.
from
I
a
shoot-
bench.
Yeah, from the bench, I shoot 100. I shoot 1-inch groups at 100 yards.
Yeah, but I
Well,
mean,
I'm
if you're
using
standing,
that load to do that, and that's the only reason why.
oh, okay. But if you were shouldering it and you were in the field hunting in, normal hunting conditions in Georgia there,
Yeah, I shoot
what?
off. I shoot. I typically hunt out of a tree stand, so I've got a brace to brace up.
Oh, okay.
But offhand, everything goes out the window when you start shooting offhand, particularly
Yeah.
at the deer. And I got to get Chico up there, man. I got to get him. I got to get him on our hunting property and get him some meat in the freezer. That's just all there is.
That would be a lot of fun for him. I used to hunt with shotguns. So our slugs out of a non-rifled barrel, just a smooth bore using the 1 ounce rifled slugs. Yeah, I only got 3 inches at like 100 yards, but that was enough in Florida because we had such close up brush and stuff. If you get 100-yard shot, it's very rare.
Well, you can ask Mr. Chico up there about my 30-30 load. He was hitting what was that, an 8-inch steel plate, Chico, at 225?
Yeah. When we were down at in Blakely.
Yes.
Yeah, that was fun, man. Everybody else was shooting. Well, it was the end of the event, and we pulled out some guns, and we were shooting at 30-30. It was awesome, man. I'm still trying to, I don't want to say finesse, but my uncle's got a 30-30 or a Winchester, and I'm sure it is a am I gonna say this right? It's a pre-64.
Pre-64, yes.
I think y'all remember when I had the two Winchester 23 guns.
Yes.
Those were 100 years. Well, one of them was made in 1908 and the other one was made in 1925. So I'm sure that Winchester is an old one also. But I think it is a pre-64. So he's not gonna hunt with it. So I kind of told him, hey, man, before you sell this thing, you need to. And this was way before the price of guns did what they did. So I'm trying to finagle that, so to speak.
So there's Jesse B. Outdoors.
Hey, Jesse.
And Paul Harbu, I think. I can't say it. I don't know.
Drew, thanks for stopping by, brother. Yeah, I'm gonna save it. It'll probably be saved for a minute. I'll leave it on there at least a month. It depends on what the all the views and stuff do. Like I said, when I first started off, it took about 3 minutes for someone to get in, so it'll look if you go see it from the beginning, it'll look a little weird. But yeah, I'll definitely save it. Paul says, he said, what that 357 level do at 100 yards? We need to find out. I can't go locally for me 100 yards. Like the range that I'm a member of, it's an indoor range, obviously, because I live in the city, and it's the max is 25 yards in there. But I like to get my lever gun and Jamie's lever gun out there about 100 yards. We do have a place that Jamie and Kyle and a lot of the other guys, Mark MCK's been to it. What is it, Jamie? Chestnut?
John's Mountain.
John's Mountain, yeah.
Well, it's on John's Mountain Wildlife Management Area. The name of the range is Chestnut Mountain.
Chestnut Mountain, yeah. So we can shoot 100 yards out there. I think it's 100 yards, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that'll be
We
fun.
can do that this coming Saturday and make a Let Freedom Ring video.
You want to do it this Saturday? I think I can do that. Because a lot of my Saturdays, a lot of side work and stuff. But if anybody's called, I'll tell them, hey, I'm busy Saturday. So that means I'll have to load some stuff up.
Well, speaking of loading some stuff up, let me show you these right here if I got them right here handy. Yeah, there you go.
Hold on, let me blow you up if I remember how to do it.
Don't blow me up. You can shoot at no, don't shoot at me either. You don't miss. This is tell me if these look familiar.
Will I be? StreamYard has changed their options too.
Go down there where you see us across the bottom,
Uh-huh.
and it's the square.
Oh,
like
solo
your
layout.
cursor.
Okay.
There you go.
Did it go? Yeah.
Oh, what is he doing? Oh, look at that.
Those look like they may blow apart. Those are the hard ones, right, Jamie?
These are Chico's hollow points. That's
Yeah,
all
those are the hard ones. That's before I started mixing lead. Those are probably strictly wheel weights.
And then I got these loaded up. We can shoot these too. These are from Big E, and they're the Remington jacketed hollow points. 125 grain.
Oh, so those are yeah. Well, I'm sure those are expand.
The store bought bullets. Then he sent
Yeah.
me some 358 429s. What was that, 170 grain? But I ain't loaded them up yet. And then I got so yeah, we can shoot these up, man. If you want to go Saturday.
Where you want to go to Johns Mountain, or you got somewhere up by you?
Johns Mountain be good.
Okay.
I'll come get you if you want me to. There's some.
I'll probably have to drive because I'll have my little guy with me.
That'd be good. There's some CW long shots.
Yeah, I've got. I think he sent me some of those. I gotta load up. Hey, Paul wants to know about. I'm assuming maybe that first bullet. He said 140 grain hollow point. I think those are what one. The mode is like a 183, but when you do the hollow point, it drops it to about.
Let me get your opinion on something, Chico. While I got you on it, let me find those.
Drew Bradley is taking off, guys. I just wanted to let you know.
Bye, Drew.
Yeah, he said the first one, Jamie.
I'm hunting for it. Here it is.
And
I'm gonna weigh one of them.
Yeah.
I got some.
Just keep in mind I think that's when I first got that first hollow point mold. I wasn't mixing any alloys. I wasn't softening it up. It's probably strictly wheel weights.
Well,
And that could change based on your alloy. It may be a little bit.
yeah.
Chap said he's got email contact information. You go ahead and share it with you. He's just right. Yeah.
Did he send me his email?
Yes, sir.
I didn't get it.
Sometimes you gotta refresh. I know.
I'll make it refresh here in a minute. Here they are, Chico. See, I'm just gonna weigh a couple of them right here.
And you don't have a gas check on them, right?
No, I do not. They don't appear to be gas check. They appear to be plain base.
I don't know. If those are the ones I sent you, that they can be gas checked.
Well, we can pound some gas checks on them, suckers.
It's got a step for it.
178.2, 178.9, 179.1. So yeah, they're right in that. Can you see it? It does look like 38 357, Tim. So it does have a step, and I think that would be cool. And this is all I got left. I loaded 50 of them, Chico, and those are the only ones I got left. So I'll put gas checks on those, and we'll put them in some. I want to try these in 35 Remington, shouldn't I?
Yeah, I think that's why I know I sent them for your lever gun, but being that they I think they drop out of mode at 360 or 362 because the mode is a 360 183 if I'm not mistaken. And I think they drop out about 360 362. So it's possible, you know, they can be sized down.
Curtis, I'm an idiot.
You see it now?
Yeah, I got it. Let's go. Let's do this.
Hey, G Pensioner. He said this is new. Yeah.
Let's do this. And bang. What? All right, I did a copy and paste of his email address. And it's telling me to correct the spelling.
Oh my goodness. It could literally be like hyphens and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. And it's right off of the one he sent me. So
Let's see what else.
Maybe try replying to it and it will save it into your contacts that way.
let me reply to that and just copy the link.
Mm-hmm.
Technology is your friend till it's not.
Why is it every time you talk to somebody like on the phone and they're like medical or something with guns or anything, they're always like, my computer's running a little bit slow today.
All right, Mr. Curtis, I have sent it and I hope it gets there. Because I'm going to have to bail out on y'all here in a few minutes. I'm waiting on wife to bring me a biscuit. What's up, Scotsman? And Chico, I don't need to. You can take me off a big screen.
Oh, yeah. I got to figure out how to do that now.
So,
Exit solo layout. Yeah.
I've been watching this TV series called Chosen. And it's about the life of Jesus. And they refer to John the Baptist as Creepy John. And Peter was on there and he says, well, we're going to go listen to John the Baptist talk. We're going to go listen to Creepy John speak. He's going to tell us about these really big bugs he's eating these days. And I'm like, man, this is too funny.
So you got
They made it very personal. Oh, I'm sorry, Chico.
Nah, you good, man. So you got him bringing you a biscuit back, Jamie?
Wife's supposed to bring me a Bojangles. Then I got to get on that. Accord, putting that fuel pump in there. And I watched a lot of videos, and I'm like, you know, I probably should call Chico, but I don't want to bother him. I know he's busy. It was Saturday and all that, and I watched a few videos and traced the signal back and all that kind of stuff. So I got power going to it. It ain't coming on. It's got to be the fuel pump, brother.
Yeah, and one thing about vehicles, man, I've even at the job, and you know, the vehicle come in with it's not getting fuel, and you know, obviously you replace the fuel pump or order fuel pump. And what I always do, the fuel pump always works, but what it is that wiring is routed through the sending unit and something else. So normally what goes bad is the sending unit, but it's part of the fuel pump, because I pulled plenty fuel pumps out and just disconnect the fuel pump. And what I do, I use that fuel pump to drain a tank, like the actual pump. I'll take it out, put a hose on it, and I'll drop it in a tank. Like say because all government vehicles, when they come in, on a tow truck on a hook, they're slapped full of gas. So I'm not taking down no gas tank with 35 gallons in it. I'll throw that fuel pump in there with the line on it and have it wired up, or I'll run it through a relay and it'll drain that tank so quick. Kind of use stuff to my benefit.
They're
Hey,
rated
Jesse,
at like they're rated at like 250 gallons an hour. So.
yeah, they move. Hey, Andy.
So when you say sending unit, to me, when somebody says the sending unit, I think of the float in there that tells you how full or empty the
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
okay.
And see, if you think about the older vehicles, like your truck, for instance, right? It's separate. It's totally separate. You can probably order a separate sending unit for it, but like all the newer stuff, even though some would argue 98 ain't new, it is. I drive a 98. Trust me. They're kind of integrated, so it's not. It to me, it's not worth it just to replace the sending unit because you got to pull the pump anyway. You know what I mean?
It's easy on that car. What is it? 2 hoses, 1 connector, and 6 or 8 bolts.
Yep. Yeah, that's
3
cake,
screws.
man.
The hardest part is cleaning all the crap out of the trunk. Now let me tell you how I got into this mess. This is not my car. This is my stepson's car. He brings it down here and hollering about it ain't running good. It ain't running good. And so I'm on vacation. He knows better than pull this kind of crap when I'm down here. And he brought it down here and ain't running good, crying to mama, you know. And of course, stepdad, mean old so and so ain't here. And so he's, you know, trying to get, you know
Yeah.
what I'm talking about. So the car has barely got any gas in it when he gets to that. So he comes in the house and does whatever he's doing while he's down here, and then he goes to get in the car. Car won't crank. So he goes and gets some gas to pour in there, and that's when you have trouble. When you got a weak fuel pump or a weak sending unit, whatever the situation may be, when you run it slap out of gas and it's working so hard to try to get gas up out of it, that's when you're going to tear it up. That's when it's going to go out. So he comes up and pours more gas in it, and of course it ain't going to pick up the fuel and send it up to the system. So yeah, so basically, if you want somebody to fix your car for free, get it almost out of gas, go park it in their driveway, and then they ain't got no choice but to fix it if they want it out of their driveway. Am I right?
Yeah, that's normally how it. You know, I've got family that do that with vehicles, and I'm like, hey, don't bring it over here. Do not bring it over here.
Yeah, I'm gonna get like Richard Pryor. I'm gonna get my Magnum and start shooting the car. That'd be fun.
Yeah, normally I say family's normally the worst about, you know, like wanting you to stop everything that you're doing to help them.
Yeah.
Oh, you can say that again, Chico. My uncle owns a Porsche, Mercedes-Benz, BMW repair facility and sale facility in Winter Park, Florida. And my aunt, she drives a Jaguar, not even a German car, and she'll show up and she'll want like him to like, he doesn't even work on cars anymore. He's like in his late 60s, and he'll be, you know, talking to customers or whatever, and she'll drive up, and she's his sister, and she'll come out of the car and she's like, I don't know what's wrong with it. It's jerking and all this right in front of like all the customers, and want him to like stop what he's doing and come over and like drive her car and go with her and like work on it. I swear to God, I'm like, what are you working on, Jaguars now? And he's like, no, she just won't leave me alone. This car has been a nightmare for me. Every time it breaks down, she brings it here instead of the Jaguar dealership. I'm like, take that piece of junk out of here.
Yeah. So Tim S says Chosen hit 1 million subs. That's absolutely awesome. And Andy jumped in. Welcome in, Andy. Good to see you, buddy.
Wow, 1 million subs. That's pretty good. That's an accomplishment.
And Jeremy Gunslinger got to go. We'll see you, bud.
See you, Jeremy. I'm still trying to figure out this thing. Look like YouTube has changed their settings too. I wouldn't doubt it.
They can't have nobody have the system figured out. Know how everything works, man. Got to change up. It was like going to the grocery store. Every time
Yeah.
you get used to where something is, they move everything around, so you have to spend more time in there.
Yeah, they figure the longer you're in there, the more chance you'll do an impulse buy.
That's what happens every time I go to the Dollar Tree. I go there probably looking for like dish detergent or some bleach or something, and come out there spending like $20. Like, you know what? I need some of these containers for powder coating bullets. That's normally how it works.
Yeah, G. Pishner, so that's why you have a friend with tow truck. I tell you something else that was interesting about the car thing. When I first looked under the hood, he'd been complaining to his mama. It won't go over 25 miles an hour. All it does is chug and chug and chug. One of the spark plug wires was pulled out of the distributor.
So you know what? I can tell you exactly just based on what you just said. It's a 4-cylinder.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've owned a 6-cylinder, same car. Those are a pain. You're not even gonna see the distributor. Actually, I don't even think I have a distributor on some of them. But yeah, I've got the 4-cylinder too. Say one of the spark plugs was pulled out of the cylinder head.
One of the spark plug wires was pulled out of the distributor cap.
Oh yeah.
Which comes out of that motor sideways. It's really weird.
Yeah.
Yep, on the side where the batteries are.
And they're super tight fitting, so no water will crawl up underneath there. I remember a Toyota Camry's the same way that year.
It's got bare naked wires coming out of that distributor there where the computer stuff, that 4 wires that go in there into that distributor. You could replace the distributor, but that contact, what you really need is the connector going from the distributor back to the wiring harness is what you need. Yeah, Jesse B. Dollar Tree is great for powder coating supplies.
Yeah, it is.
Buzz D. Fort wants to know any word on Dead Zero.
You know what? We gotta talk to Insight about that. I know he's got the contact, even though I've emailed the guy, but because Insight lives up there and he already established the relation, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. He's already established the communication between Insight, and I know you have also, Jamie, right?
I have talked to him.
Yeah, I think I emailed him a few times. I would assume, and I shouldn't do that, but I would think that they've opened back up normally, like most other places.
Yeah, but do they want 25 or 50 people coming in there to shoot in that rifle range?
Right.
Yeah. Depending on how many we can get to go next time, we might have to plan it where we take over the whole thing, because if we are half of it or a third of it or a fourth of it or whatever, and because we had 13 last time, Chico? 12?
I think on the final count, man, before everything went crazy, it was at least 18, I think.
Oh, I'm not talking about how many committed to go the next time.
You're talking about the very first time. Okay, yeah. It was probably like 13 of us. Tread, his brother, his dad, MCK, Scotsman, Insight, Nathan was there. Josh was there, 243 Outdoors. Yeah, I am needing some long range Dead Zero action.
Yeah, man, we got to work on that for both of us. We need I think my rifle's going to do it, man. And something you'll appreciate, Chico, is when I went to buy that stock, that Magpul Hunter stock for that rifle, um, that can run. Typically, it's $189, and I found them as low as I'm sorry, $289, but I found them as low as $259. But they're never in stock at $259. So basically, you find a good price like that, they don't have it in stock. You don't. That's not really a deal. So I found it on Amazon for $279, and I was just gonna bite the bullet, and then it popped up that, hey, you have 100 and some dollars. I wound up of reward points, so I wound up buying that stock for $125. So
Nice.
basically, I got $400 in the rifle. I got the money in the scope, and Eagle got me a good discount on that, and then another $125 for that stock. So I'm at $30 for the. I got a 20 MOA mount that I've not put on it yet because that's and then the $35 for the $35 for the bipod.
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
Yeah, thanks, GGW.
I think Chap said he had to put on a shirt. Did he say that? He ain't clicked in yet.
No, but I did send it to him. I hope he's let me make sure it went. Let me look at sent. Yep.
Jamie, is this for your 270?
No, this is for my 6.5 Creedmoor.
Oh, okay.
Ruger American Predator. And
that's an awesome rifle.
we're going to shoot that out, man. We're going to shoot it till we need a new barrel. When I need a barrel, I'll send it to probably send it to Eagle Eye and let him put a new barrel on it and true up the receiver and the face plate on the bolt and make it even that much more accurate. Spend that much more money on it, but yeah, that Ruger American action is very strong, very true. So I'm excited about getting the thing out and just shooting it, man. And that's what I'll carry up there with us Saturday, Chico. We'll get to go. We'll take that. We'll take the 350 Legend, and I'll bring some the 357 lever gun and the 357 revolvers. We'll just.
I'll definitely bring my can, or I should say, yeah. I've got for my can. I only have 2 firearms I can shoot it from. So I've got that Taurus TX22. That's a nice little pistol as far as like a trainer gun. And the reason why I bought it, because years ago when it first came out, I rented it. I took my baby sister to the range. I didn't know she'd never shot a firearm. So we rented that. I rented that for her before I let her shoot like my Henry and my 1022 Ruger. And I liked it so much as far as like if you want to compare that to the Glock 44. The Glock 44, they don't have their magazine is like limited to 10 rounds. That Taurus TX22, I think it's the only one on the market that holds 16 rounds as far as a 22 pistol. So I purchased it really for that reason and for what it is. It's almost like a full-size gun. Hey, Fuzz T Fork. He said Mr. Pollard misses you. Good seeing you, Fuzz. G. Pensner has a question out there for you, Jamie.
It is. It's on Arrow Precision upper and lower. It's a Shaw Precision barrel. Yeah.
I haven't loaded up anything for my 300 Blackout, but I have the upper complete, so to speak. The only thing I've probably got a break around here somewhere. That is the only thing. Yeah, Uncle Jim says the Taurus. I see Uncle Jim still out there. He said Taurus 22 also feeds good. Yeah. You know what? One thing I noticed though, I was recently at the range and I was shooting with the can on it. I was shooting CCI quiets. And either the gun is dirty, well, it's not either. The gun is dirty, but it would not cycle those. But they're so quiet. So after each round I had to manually it was a failure to eject. So good morning, Papa's Place. So but the any other 22 ammo I've got, that's one thing that I've been doing with that can. I've been shooting all kind of ammo through it. I can shoot high velocity and it's still it's still quiet, let's say that.
I got a question. Does anybody out there have any experience with a Rise armament trigger? I have the RA-140 on one of my ARs. Think about moving it to the 350 Legend.
Is it a cassette trigger, Jamie?
Kinda, yeah, like that drop in.
Yeah, like a one-piece deal.
Yeah.
Okay, when you look down through at the top, is there a set screw head, Allen screw head on the left and right, looking right straight up at you on 90 degrees from the bottom?
I have no clue, man.
Okay.
I just put it in the AR, but I'll
Yeah.
go take it apart.
Yeah, if you look in there and there's a set screw on the left and the right side, that's how most cassette triggers are put in. And what you do is you put the pins in and the pins can walk out. And so you tighten those down until they make firm contact with the bottom of the receiver. And you just give them a little bump tight and make sure they're snug. And basically it keeps the trigger pins from being able to walk out.
Yeah, it'd be a real pain to have your trigger fall off in your hand out of your AR.
Yeah, you don't want to lose a trigger pin, especially out in the grass or something like that. You're gonna be SOL.
That'd be bad, man.
Uncle Jim says it's too low of velocity for the semis. Okay. It's definitely quiet, I can tell you that. But I definitely need to get a boat gun that's threaded. So anything else I pretty much buy, especially for that 22. If I buy any more 22s, it's got to be threaded.
Yeah, well, even if you got a 1022 or a Smith & Wesson 1522, if you're going to have a rifle length barrel of 16 inches or more, you're going to create enough back pressure with those CCI quiets with the can to usually cycle them. But the problem in pistols is even when you shoot high velocity cartridges, you're still not breaking the sound barrier unless you have a pistol that's got at least like an 8-inch barrel on it.
Yeah, that's I do have. I'll tell you what I want to do, and then I can ask this. Maybe Uncle Jim knows or anybody else knows. So I've got like say my trunk monkey, right? It's a 7-inch AR-15 pistol, but I have a boat conversion. I have a 22 CMMG boat conversion. I want to, throw that boat in there and thread my can on there and see how that does. It's a 7-inch barrel. Possibly see how that does. I'm not expecting huge groups. I mean, small groups, obviously, because the twist rate. But it'd be pretty cool because I know my son likes shooting that. He likes shooting that AR-15 with the 22 bolt conversion.
Hey, man, let me get y'all's opinion about this mold I got. Right, I'm thinking of buying it. See if I can get it to share screen. Let's see.
Fuzz says his farts are louder than a. So I need to add this one on, Jamie.
If you
Add,
want to.
add the stream and then solo, right? There we go. $3.59 hammer mode. Who makes that? M&P?
Yes.
I mean MP, not M&P.
That's what the bullet looks like. So it's got your crimp groove up here, one lube groove, and a gas check groove.
How
So
heavy is it?
Well, let's see. We got the information right there. I didn't want to do that. Hammer, 359 hammer. You can see it's got 3 different hollow point configurations.
Right. And
So it's 173 grain solid, 159 grain large hollow point, 164 with the small, and 167 with the
so
meat
it's
flat.
got 3 pins basically.
3 different pins, yes, sir.
That's almost similar to that bullet I sent you, except for that's very similar. It might be something a little different about it. I got a mess on my bench. If I can find any. That one.
So what's the consensus of the crowd? Should I buy this mold? It's a lot of money, man, as y'all can see.
So it look like there's a range. There's a range as far as the price, and I would assume that's based on the cavities.
2 or 4, and this is brass. We're talking brass here.
Oh.
We're not,
So is it 125 for a 4 cavity brass?
yes, sir.
I would go just me. If it was me, I would go a 4 cavity because 2 cavities work great, but you got to cast so many. You got to, you got so many pours that you got to do. But they do have it's a pro and a con, in my opinion, to a lot of stuff. So the 2 cavities will heat up quicker. You probably get good bullets quicker, but you're gonna be a casting person.
But you also got to bear in mind, Chico, the number of Mr. Chapin. How are you doing, sir?
Am I here?
You are here.
Wow, that was fast. I just clicked the link. I thought there was like a wait before you could bring me in.
You're live and in living color.
Holy cow. I'm doing my best interpretation of Kermit the Frog crossed with Ray Charles or Roy Orbison here. So I got green and I got sunglasses. Cheap handout glasses from someplace.
You know that Ray Charles sings our state song, correct?
Oh, does he? It says Dominican Republic on it. Must be some kind of a travel. At work, we do these, health wellness fairs, and they have all kinds of promotional stuff. So I just, whatever's there and interesting. But I've used these when I was driving in the car before, and they keep the sun from getting in your eyes.
Yeah.
So I don't see the side chat here. I don't know how that works. Do I have to look at that on something else?
No, go over to the right-hand side up there where it says private chat or comments. Click on comments.
On comments? Will somebody say an unkind comment if I do that?
No, you'll just be able to see the comments.
Where did Chico go? Is he still here?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry for the delay. My dad showed up. I had him. I'll grab it here. I had my dad working on a part for me, and he showed up with it. That project that I've been working on. Unfortunately, one of the parts the previous people had ruined, but my dad was able to fix it. So now I just got to finish the polishing and put the hole in it and fix the bluing, and I can keep the proper assembly number that's up on the front now. I was thinking I was going to have to replace this, but my dad's a very accomplished welder and fabricator and does a lot of that stuff. So he took care of it for me. So I'm in good shape on this. Just a little bit of work and I can have this right back to being ready to go. So I'm happy about that. He dropped it off this morning.
That's
Nice.
amazing. That's so good that you have a father that's able to do that kind of work for you. You're a lucky guy.
Yeah, and it's funny because I've learned a ton of stuff from my dad over the years. And, and I understand there's a lot of differences between he and I where our skill sets lie. I've watched, my dad's been in the building industry. He was originally a General Motors mechanic. He went to Northern Michigan University and did the GM Institute thing. So he's a very accomplished mechanic from back in the day when mechanics weren't just remove and replace. And, ever since I was little, I've done things like that with my dad. And that's where I probably picked up a lot of my mechanical skills from. And I'm not sure he's ever really quote unquote taught. He's just led and I was always part of everything he did. So that's where that all came from. And, he's very gifted at those types of things. So it has been an advantage. A lot of my friends, even my age, as far as fixing things, doing things, they don't have that skill set because they didn't pick it up from someone.
Yeah.
Okay, so back to the mold thing just for a second. Not Gigi, Lakeview said buy it, and Andy's telling me how to get it hot when I start to use it. So I'm glad. I'm guessing that the consensus is that 4-cavity brass mold for $125 ain't bad. Good morning, AR.
Good morning, AR Guns. What is going on?
So I'm gonna quit sharing the screen.
Well, no, I think that you should buy that mold because brass molds, I don't cast, but everybody that I've heard talk about them, there's just something about them. They hold the heat really well, and they're not quite like steel, as tough as steel, but they don't rust. And the bullets they turn out, I've been told, are absolutely beautiful. So,
Well, I appreciate that. What do you think, Curtis?
I was just looking at the side chat and laughing at the creativity of some of the people that choose to troll Chico.
Yeah,
And I was going to address it, but then, you reveal too much sometimes when you address things that come up in the side chat. So I decided to let it go. It's probably Mig.
That's what I was thinking. It had to be Mig because they came in one wave.
So you want me to get rid of this or not?
What the good looking
Good looking honky.
No, because he didn't say nothing yet. I mean, he says the only thing that stands out, he said an old adult film star. That's got to be Mig. So, but he said, great stream, guys. Thanks, Peter North. Well, thanks, Peter North. So,
well, some of us were in the military, and some of those films were kind of part of our culture for a spell there. So, some of the names are familiar. I'm just glad he didn't mention some of the other names that I'm familiar with.
yeah, I end up finding how to throw more wrenches out there. It took me a while because, like I said, YouTube. Either I ain't been on here in that long, but YouTube has changed some of that stuff to do it. So, but yeah.
So when you guys run StreamYard, how much lag is there? Do you think between when the comment? I haven't never used StreamYard. I fooled around with Melon and a couple of others, but I didn't know how much delay there is because when I use Melon, there's a fair amount of delay between the live video and the comments.
Okay, hold on. We'll find out. I got it on my phone. All right, so I'm going to go 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005, 1006 seconds.
Did you get the mosquito?
No. There wasn't one. I was just doing that. Well, you got the soundboard when you make movies and all that crap.
Yeah, I do. I believe it or not, Jamie, I do that on films because, like, if you're syncing the target camera to the bench camera, like if I'm filming myself shooting and I have the target camera going to have, I use the rifle shots a lot, but at the beginning I also do a clap. And the other thing that I'm trying to remember to do when I film is, especially when I'm filming with my iPhone, must take a little while for it to process the sound and decide what it's going to set the microphone to, because when you start talking, you've got an audio level, and then a few seconds in, it'll go up. It'll change. And you can hear it in some of my videos plain as day. And even when I try to edit it out, it's very hard to hide. And then I decided I don't want to spend the time on it. So I've been trying to start the video, and I'll talk some random stuff like, hey, it's nice weather today, or this, or I'll talk to myself and say things. Hey, I'm talking so that the microphone will adjust, and I'll just keep talking like this until it picks it up. And what I have to be careful of is when I do that, I don't even realize that I'm changing my tone and volume and inflection from when I'm just talking on the video. And it's trying to beat the technology is a challenge sometimes.
Okay. I hear Mama calling, so I'm going to have to jump off. Tim S., I'm the 84. That is a chunk of change, but I'm looking at the 4 cavity, which is the 125. And G. Pishner, I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure M&P, Arsenal, or NOE, either one will make you a custom mold, whatever you want, if you got the money to pay for it.
Hey, Jamie, on the topic of molds, I know a lot of people like that the 312 or thereabouts 150 grain bullet that Lee makes for like 7.62 by 39. Was it TL 312 150 or something? They do it in a 2 cavity and a 6 cavity. That's been out of stock just about everywhere. Just this morning, I noticed that Lee Precision has that mold on their site as a clearance, but it's labeled as a 310 rather than a 312. So if you're going to run it in something like 300 blackout, where 39, 310 would work, that's a place to get it. And it's at their normal pricing, which, it's a couple bucks higher than you can typically get them at Titan. Titan's usually $20 some on that mold, and at Lee it's more, but it's available, and they've got a lot of them. So it's if someone needs that bullet for something like 300 blackout, or they happen to have a 7.62 by 39 that's got a good solid bore, or a mini 14 or something that has a 308 bore, it would be perfect.
I would love to have the 311 or 312 in that mold, but and say I could run it in, I could double feed them in 30-30 and use them. It'd be great for Chico with 308. That would be an ideal application for it.
Yeah.
But I want it for 7.62 by 54R, 30-30, 30-06. I want to be able to use them in all of them, so I would need the bigger one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure about. I haven't done it and tried it for accuracy, but using more and more layers of powder coat, that could get the diameter up, but I'm not sure how accurate it'd be, or if that powder coat will be strong enough to hold on to the rifle.
I've had mixed results with it. I've gotten the diameter up, but I'm not convinced myself that they size accurately when you do that. I still have better luck with, tumble loop bullets. And then when I do powder coated bullets, I've had some good success with it, but I've had the best luck with, 1 coat or sometimes 2 just to get full coverage. And I've also found that a nice, even thin coat and not sizing the bullet, if you can get it to the size that you need without running it through the sizer, they almost always seem to do better in rifle bullets anyway. In pistol bullets, I've had various things that work fine. I think some of it's luck of the draw too. Broke Loader says it's the CTL 310 158. Yep, that's the one, Broke Loader. And hello, I'm glad to see you. I haven't ever shot the bullet. MCK gave me a bunch of them. I need to try him. He's been getting on me a little bit. I need to get back to Hoosier hand loads and make some more. Not Hoosier Daddy, Hoosier hand loads.
Hey, G. Pishner's talking about 350 versus 300 blackout. I don't understand the question there. Let me back up a little bit and see if we can figure that out.
What do you think, Chico? Glasses or no glasses?
Glasses are cool, man. I stand out. I'd rock them myself. I probably got some that my son had from a event we went to. I heard you say they you got them at some kind of it was like a health event or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, we get stuff like that when we do autism events and walks and stuff like that. There's always vendors out there. They may have T-Mobile on the side or something. It might be like,
right. Whoever donated them.
Right. So.
All right, let me sign off of here. G. Pishner, I have a 350 Legend. I do not own a 300 Blackout, but everybody loves 300 Blackout. So the attraction to the 350 Legend is in states where you got to have a straight wall cartridge for deer hunting. That's what it's intended for, and you can just load so much stuff on it. And Curtis, a lot of people say that microgroup barrel from Marlin don't shoot well with cast lead. Man, I've got some good groups with powder coated bullets and that. Anyway,
Yep. I think there's a lot of that gun lore that gets passed down, and I think the vast majority of people that repeat things like that probably don't have personal experience. You know, it's always their friend or maybe they just read it in a magazine and they pass it along as if it's some validated thing. I see that a lot with a lot of different stuff. I don't pay much attention to it. You know, it's, you know, if it works for someone to believe those things and it makes them feel better about whatever makes them feel better about, they can keep that opinion they want. I would certainly shoot it before I made that decision. And if somebody says, hey, I've got this nice 336 and 35 Remington and everything on the rifle talked to me other than the fact that it didn't have a JM stamp or that it had a microgroove barrel, I'd buy it anyway. I'd test it for myself, you know, maybe I'd find out that I didn't like how it shot. Would that be because it was microgroove? Would it be because it didn't have the JM stamp on it? Would it be because I'm a crappy shooter and reloader? I don't know, but I would just keep working until I either made it work or didn't. And so far I haven't had anything that I couldn't make work other than some of my milsurps that have rotten bores. Some of those, they're not going to shoot no matter what you do. And it's fun to play with them, but they're just going to do what they do.
I'm getting screamed at. Chico, brother, thanks for sending me a link.
No problem. Anytime. Thanks for jumping on, man. Like I said, I was random as heck.
I miss you, brother. Take care of Carter. I got you back.
Yes, sir.
Need me, all you got to do is holler. I can be down there in less than an hour. You know I can.
Yes, sir. And, have a good one. Enjoy your breakfast. It's almost lunch now, though.
Well, it's brunch, whatever.
Brunch. There you go.
Take care, Jamie.
Bye, y'all. Good to see y'all this morning. And I'll be in touch, Chico. We'll go shoot next Saturday.
Where at?
We're going to Johns Mountain.
How's the weather look?
I hadn't looked that far.
I'd like to make the run down, you know, at some point. I don't know when. Scotsman and MCK are wanting to do some stuff too, so try to fit them in, you know. So I just wrapped up a ton of maintenance on the airplane. It's ready to go and stuff. I don't know that I talked about it, but I had a mechanical issue a while back, but we've got it all fixed and everything's fine and good to go and no harm, no foul. We managed it just fine. But it's time to get out and about. We were supposed to fly on Father's Day and the weather turned crap and it's been crap ever since. So,
well, I got your number and stuff again now. So I'll give you a call and fill you in after I talk to Chico.
Yeah, that's fine. We might, you know, it's not that bad to get there, and it's like a straight 180 heading south. I mean, it's easy navigation even. Yeah,
we even have an little airport here in Rome.
I've looked at it. I've looked at that flight. It's certainly achievable. I would probably do it with one stop just to make sure I had plenty of fuel. I can do it nonstop, but you know, sitting in that airplane that long is a challenge too. So I would probably make one stop.
How long is that flight from you to that airport, chap?
I'd have to look, but it strikes me that it's between 3 and 4 hours.
Oh yeah, that's a good little hike. See you, Jamie.
Yeah.
You know what? I seen a comment that I wanted to highlight, and I will as soon as I see it. It was Daniel. I'm not sure who Daniel is, but thank you for joining. And he says, does anybody need custom modes? Any of you ever need a custom mode made? So now I'm thinking that Daniel possibly makes custom modes. And that intrigues me.
Yeah. I'd like a heavy 223. I've considered buying the blank Lee molds. You know, they make kits where it's the block for the 2 cavity mold. And they make them for 6 cavities too. But I think that with my limited machining skills, I think that I would probably do a single cavity because the chances of me on my equipment making two that were the same. If I made a 2-cavity mold, I'd make two distinctly different bullets, just because, so I could cast twice as fast, but wouldn't have to worry about them being the same. But I'd like a heavy for caliber 223 bullet. That would be nice to have something like that to shoot in the faster twist 223 barrels. 6 Years Texan says he's made a couple. Yeah, I've considered it. I mean, in those Lee blocks, I could chuck them. I don't have a 4-jaw chuck, but I could use a faceplate, and I think I could center it good enough to cut a cavity with a faceplate and do it that way. And I've made other things that are bullet shaped and they've come out well. So I think I could do it, or I could have a friend. I have lots of friends that do that kind of work, or I could take it out to my dad's and do it. That would be another way too. He's got the right stuff.
How much luck have you had with the 223, just making it out of lead?
I've not done a lot of it. Other people have. I've got three different 22 caliber molds. I've only ever myself cast that Lee 55 grain bullet. I've shot it checked and unchecked. I've never powder coated any of my own, but Josh from 243 Outdoors did send me some that he had cast. I've not had much luck with them. The ones that he sent me, I think the reason I didn't have much luck with them is they were size 224. And I think that that's too small. I shot them both gas checked and not gas checked. And I'm shooting them in a barrel that's a 20-inch barrel that's a 1 in 12 twist, which in my mind would be more suitable than a shorter barrel and more suitable than a faster twist. I have not shot any of his unsized ones that he sent, which are a little bit bigger, nor have I sized any to say like 225 and tried them. The cast ones that I cast myself, I lubricized to 225 and had better results. At 100 yards with a couple of different kinds of powders, I was seeing stuff on the order of 2 inches or so. So not horrible, but not spectacular. Running 2,000 to 2,200 feet per second, the rifle cycles fine. I don't have any problem with that. With various powders, I've used 4895. I've used Winchester 748, I think it is. A couple of other different powders. I've tried. My goal is to do subsonics, but to cycle subsonics in an AR with 223 is very difficult. The only stuff that I've ever done with that's worked is this commercial stuff called Atomic, and they call it tactical tumbling. It's a big old bullet. It's like a 110 grain bullet. It doesn't stabilize, so they say it's tumbling for tactical purposes. Like, okay, whatever. It works. It does cycle. It works great with a can. Shoots straight out to about, 5 or 7 yards, and then it tumbles. So it comes out straight, but doesn't stay there. But, I always wanted to, in my 14.5-inch barreled M4, I always wanted to be able to shoot it with a Canon subsonic, but it's a silly goal. A lot of people have chased it. I've done no better than anybody else has. Just shoot 300 blackout if that's what you want. Makes a lot more sense.
Yeah. Yeah, I've heard that with the lead that the original 1 in 14 and 1 in 12 twist rate barrels were the only way to go. That people that were basically running 1 in 9, 1 in 8, 1 in 7, the bullets were just stripping over the rifling, letting their barrel, and were going into either coming apart into pieces or just all over the place like buckshot.
I haven't personally experienced it, but that's kind of what my opinion about it is, and I've not, I think the only AR that I've shot any cast 223 out of is that particular barrel. It's a Green Mountain. I built the rifle. I call it my slow twist 223. It's set up to shoot off the bench. It's got a A2 stock with a bag rider, and it's got a front track plate to run in a bench rest. And it's got a target scope on it. So, it's a very credible rifle. And I've printed some, what's really wild is I played with a lot of different stuff with 55 grain bullets, thinking that 1 in 12 was going to benefit the 55 bullet. And I think it does. And the lighter bullets. I've shot some really nice groups with jacketed bullets, but with cast, I haven't gotten there yet. I think it can be done. I think it's more in the bullet and my making of the bullet than anything. I don't think it's that it won't work. I think it's that I need to find the right bullet shape and whatnot. And that's where I've accumulated a couple of different molds that I want to try and see how it goes. But I haven't tried any in any of the other barrels, so I can't say, well, yeah, it does do that. It does trip. But that's kind of my reasoning about it. I mean, that makes sense to me, I guess is the right way to say it. But I can't say, yeah, it does, because I don't know for sure. But, I've been kind of keeping a lot of that experimentation to myself until I find some success. I'd really like to show everybody, that rifle, and especially the Lee bullet, shooting some tight groups, but I haven't gotten there yet. Say the best I've done is probably on the order of 1 3/4 and 2 inch. And I have shot a couple of isolated 100-yard groups with, it strikes me that it may have been IMR 3031 in that bullet, that were under 1 inch, but the next group you shoot is not there. So it was just an accident. It's not, I just probably flinched in a way that helped me.
Yeah. That's interesting, though. I like the fact that you're running a slow twist barrel, and because a lot of people will tell you that they can't hit the broadside of a barn at 50 yards with a cast bullet out of a 223 cartridge, cast or what do they call it when you with a gas check on it or not gas checked, they said they just can't hit nothing. And I'm like, have you looked inside your barrel and see if you've got any rifle, any like leading in the rifling? And they're like, no. And I'm like, well, I think maybe you should probably check that, because if you're shooting if you're missing like a 14 inch by 12 inch target at like 100 yards, chances are something's going on with that bullet that you need to, yeah.
Along those lines, I did have a funny one. One of my military rifles, it's got a crappy bore. I was shooting cast out of it and starting to get a little someplace with it. And I said, okay, well, is this thing even shooting jacketed bullets? Which I knew it really didn't shoot jacketed bullets very well, but I thought, let's just shoot a couple of groups from up close. So because this thing was tumbling and all kinds of stupid stuff. So I got up really close, like around 10 yards, and I ran a couple of rounds of jacketed through. And the first one that went down the bore, I got a bullet hole in a shotgun pattern because it blew out all the lead out of the barrel. And so I looked at the target. I'm like, oh, that's not good. It blew out everything that had built up in there. And I'm like, oh, that's part of why it's, but that barrel is so rough. You got to let it build up something, or else the only thing I've gotten to shoot out of it is round balls. I've shot some impressive round ball stuff at 25 yards, but that's about the size of it.
Yeah.
Back to the 22 caliber stuff, or even 223, I've got several rifles that are waiting to be shot, and several of them are 223s. I've got a project that I've been planning to work on for a long, long time, where I picked up discounted from the store that I shop. Friends own it. They shop from here in town. They got on it. I believe what the deal was is somebody won this rifle in a raffle, had it for a while, and traded it in for something else. And it's a Ruger American Ranch in 223, but it's the older one with the rotary magazine. It doesn't use the Stanag magazine. So I bought the thing for next to nothing. I mean, it's a brand new rifle, and I think I paid $200 for it. I mean, it was dirt cheap. And I bought everything that I needed for the scope and whatnot to put on it. And I figured what I would do is a budget 223 rifle, but everybody on YouTube does stuff like that. And I got all tooled up for it. And what I was going to do is I was going to start really simple and like load for it with a Lee loader or something and just be silly with it. And I just haven't gotten around to it. So that's one I'd like to try with cast, but I don't know what the twist is. It might be a relatively fast twist. That might be a modern rifle with like a 1-in-8 or so. I'd have to look and see what it is. I have a very, very nice Remington 788 in 223 that has a heavy barrel, and I think that one's 1-in-12 or 1-in-10. I'd have to look it up. So that's a good cast bullet candidate. So I could go with a bolt action 223 and see if I can do better where you don't have to cater to the gas system. I've got 222, which will definitely shoot cast. I've got 22 Hornet, which will definitely shoot cast. I just picked up a box of cast bullets for 22 caliber yesterday that somebody else cast. They're very pointy, and it says the mold number on the box. So I'm looking forward to try those. They're light. They're like 42 or 48 grain. So I want to try those in Hornet. That'll probably be the first cast I shoot in Hornet. And then I've got a 22 Bader mold that's supposed to be really good in Hornet. So we'll see. I'll get there. I've every time I start tooling up for one of those things, something else catches my opinion or my attention, and I start work. This Japanese rifle has kind of set me back a couple of weeks already. I've only had it for a week, and it set me back 3 weeks just because it's something that I want to shoot. I have this really naughty desire to take this Arisaka down to the military rifle shoot and beat all the guys that shoot 03 A3s and M1s. I just want to do it. I want to just take this rifle down there that everybody talks about the crudeness and everything else. And, you know, of course, this is an early one, so it's not as crude as the Last Ditch by. It's actually a very nice rifle. I'm hoping it shoots. The bore looks good, but if I could do it with cast bullets, that'd be even better. If I could shoot cast bullets out of it, that would be awesome.
I'm actually, and I just found this out. I'm actually Daniel in the side chat who was talking about the custom molds. He posted up his Instagram, and I'm actually following him. So it's Allen Precision Manufacturing. So
okay, he's a shop.
Yeah, he's definitely have a shop. So he's legit. So
look at that. Well, cool.
So I'll definitely check you out, Daniel. That's what it said. Can anybody, and see, TMS, I know there's going to be some caveats to your question because they're going to probably ask you, what are you using the 45 for and what kind of 45 mode? He says, what's a good mode for 45?
If you want to just an off-the-cuff answer, that there's two bullets that Lee makes, and one of them isn't even, and it's cheap. The 45 228 grain, 452 228 1R, spectacular. It's the cheapest mold you can buy in 45. If you don't have any other 45 mold, it's a round nose bullet. It's not all cool like a semi-wide cutter. It's not Keith style. It's not all that stuff that everybody gets all gaga about it. But I've shot a ton of those, and I've cast a ton of them for my friend Rock. Powder coated, tumble lube, lubricized, it always shoots. I've shot it in 45 Colt and a 7.5 inch Vaquero. I've shot it in my Rossi 92 45 Colt, and it shoots spectacular. I've shot it in my 1911, which is just an everyday Colt, 1991 A1. I've shot it in my SIG 227, and it shoots incredible. So, I mean, if it always works, and it works with light charges and it works with heavy charges. I've shot it with some obnoxious 42-27 charges in that Vaquero, and it always shoots. So it's that would be, you know, and everybody will be disappointed that it's a $24 Lee mold, but it works well. And then the other one they make is this very similar bullet. It's the 450. They label it as 450 200R, which is actually meant for black powder pistols back in the day. And I stumbled across a single cavity version of that bullet at a gun show. I paid $5 for the mold, and that was the first mold I did use in 45 Colt. And that back, 3 years ago when 243 Outdoors did the milk jug challenge, and I made that satire video that was the Vaquero milk jug challenge. I was shooting milk jugs with my Vaquero at 100 yards, and it's tough because it doesn't have good sights. It's got a notch in the top and a blade in the front, and that's the bullet I used for that. And I had fooled around with some other bullets, and that silly 200 grain, what you would think undersized bullet, shot better than anything I ever ran through the pistol. So I would certainly recommend either one of those molds, the 228 in particular. I've shot some of those that my friend Mark cast, and they shot well. And then MCK gave me a single cavity mold for that bullet that shoots lights out. I can't believe it. It's funny how the cheap ones sometimes do the job.
Yeah, I've got a 45 that I purchased probably when everything was going, before everything went too crazy. And it's a semi-wide cutter. And that's an ugly bullet. You can see the wrinkles on it and stuff. This is just one I had sitting on the bench. So I'm going to possibly load that up in my 45 Colt. I think it's like a 255. If I'm not mistaken.
Did they get more wrinkly with age?
Huh?
Do they get more wrinkly with age?
Nah, I think those were some of the first cast ones. I probably got a better one in there. Maybe not.
I got to tell you a story, Chico. You know, you've watched a lot of my stuff. The two Argentine carbines that I shoot, the engineer carbine that's been in a whole bunch of videos, and then the cavalry carbine, which has only been in a couple. I bought those from a guy named Jerry Pracer, and he has a business in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin called Recon Ordnance, and he does machine gun stuff and milsurp stuff. And, you know, I got tipped off to Jerry, and I'd seen his ads a long time ago and never followed any of them. And then Georgia Boy was looking for an engineer carbine, and he came across this ad, and he says, well, Curtis, you've done some stuff with Argentines. Do you think this guy's, legit, or would this be a good deal? And he had this ad where Jerry was advertising Argentine engineer carbines for, a pretty low price. And I said, well, I'll call him. And I called Jerry, and Jerry says, oh man, that's an old ad. Where'd you find that? I saw a friend pointed out. He goes, I haven't run an internet ad in 5 years, and this and that and the other. He says, that's antiquated. He says, I've got a couple rifles left. He said, they're bad. He said, all the good ones have been sold. And he says, look, I got this stuff on a debt collection. He says, I had a customer that owed me a bunch of money. They shut their doors, didn't have anything except for a container full of stuff. And the attorneys said, hey, Jerry, the guy owes you this money. You want this container of stuff? And Jerry said, well, it's better than the nothing that I'm getting now. Yeah. What is it? Well, we don't know, but if you want it, it's the best we can do. So Jerry got this container, and it's full of Argentines and other stuff. And a lot of it was crude, and a lot of it had no bolts, and was, that type of a thing. So over time, Jerry started shopping. He found surplus bolts, started building rifles, but he didn't have cocking pieces, didn't have various pieces. So he had some stuff made replicas and whatnot, and started selling off these rifles. Well, I got a couple of the last ones, and he told me, he said, what do you want this thing for? He says, I don't want to deal with anybody that calls me back and says this rifle won't shoot. I want my money back. I said, no, I just want one. I don't care. If it shoots, that's a bonus. He goes, okay, well, we're talking the same language. And he sold me those 2 rifles for next to nothing. But I was very happy because I was able to save both of them. And the engineer carbine, other than the bolt, is matching numbers. I was like, just shocked, but it's, it's poor born. But anyway, long story short, too late for that. It's already long. It's talking to Jerry on the telephone, and he doesn't like email. He wants you to call him. So he says, I'll get this stuff packaged up and addressed. Give me a call on Monday and we'll, fill you in. I said, okay, fine. So I call him on Monday, and he didn't answer the phone. So I left a voicemail. And he didn't call back. So I called him on Tuesday, and he goes, oh, yeah. He says, I'm sorry. He said, I had a date yesterday. And I said, well, Jerry, your last call, you told me that you were 70 some odd years and you're ready to wind down on this stuff and everything else. He goes, oh, yeah. He says, I don't like bullshit anymore. He says, I'm dating this 60-year-old, and she ain't got a wrinkle on her. And I'm like, okay. So that's the wrinkle bullet. So Jerry's a riot. So if you ever get a chance to check out Recon Ordnance and call Jerry, he's a riot. But hey, Nick Rowden says he loves his 1891 Argentine long rifle. Yep, I like Argentines. I have 4 or 5. I have the 2 engineer carbines. I have an 1891 long rifle. I have one that's sporterized. So maybe I have 4. I think maybe I have 4. But yeah, the small ring Mausers, 91s are cool. 93s, 94s, 95s, 96s, a little bit more refined. The full length extractor, I like them a bit better. You get into your Chileans and your Swedes, and those, I really like them a lot. So what else you got for me, Chico? I'll answer whatever you want me to answer. Don't let me get too far off the beaten track. You're muted, Chico.
Yeah, sorry about that. I was chewing a donut, so I didn't want to be. I was checking the comments, but Nick, I'm gonna send you an email, and I'm gonna post my email, and I'll send you a link if you want to jump on. It should be in the side chat. No, TMS said that was for 45 ACP, so that might change the Chap's answer on which mode.
Yeah, so to Chico, to show you that I'm not just talking garbage about liking that bullet. Here's a bowl of them that's sitting on my kitchen counter waiting for Rock to stop by and pick them up because my friend Rock that you've heard, he's got a great voice. He's like, this is Rock. He's like that guy that does the holsters. He's got that great voice. And I cast these for Rock to shoot in his Vaquero, and this is that Lee mold. My finger's in the way.
4.52 2.28.
Yep, 1R. And for those of you that dislike it, that's Harbor Freight Red. I like it. I've still got a bottle of it that I'm chewing through, and it takes 2 coats on these, but I like thin powder coat. I think a lot of people put their powder coat on a lot thicker than I do. I run them through and shake them, and what sticks to them, I bake them. And if they're blotchy, I do it again. But I don't like when the powder coat fills in the grooves and it gets that real slick, thick thing to it. I would like a thin, durable coat better for my liking. I don't know that it affects anything. I can't validate that one way is more accurate than the other. This just satisfies me more. Sometimes it's about what you like, and I'm not gonna act like I know it's better or worse or whatever, but it's just what appeals to me is to have it, I like a little bit of a texture on the bullet, I guess, and as long as it sticks, that's the main thing for me. But yeah, I like that mold a lot, and it shoots good in everything I've shot it in.
I actually, since you showed that, I think Jamie sent me some of those when I first got into casting. So
yeah,
I may have that bullet.
These are from the mold that MCK gave me, and it's an old single cavity, and it casts a nice bullet. I'm not sure why he gave it to me. Maybe he had 2 of them or something, but he gave me that. Remember, I had the video when I flew down and saw him. I took him that old Lyman press in the box of goodies that he gave me. That mold was in there, and to me, that looks like a 45 Colt bullet ought to look, a round, and I powder coated some with the silver that he gave me, and they look really good loaded in a 45 Colt case. It looks right.
Cool.
Echo streams around. Echo streams around the clock. No sleep. There's a couple of faces that if you spool up a live stream, they're going to be on it. If there's a live stream about shooting and reloading, Jamie's going to be on it. I mean, it's a given. I don't know what else he does, because he's just a live stream guy. It's just funny. He's always there.
Yeah, I try to get in. It's a lot of valuable information in a lot of these live streams. I know Highboy does one. I'm trying to think that the Reloader dude, he's done a few in the past, but he used to do some good stuff. But yeah, I mean, everybody's live streams, I try to tune in, especially if I can listen while I'm working, like I'm double dipping and stuff like that. So it's a lot of valuable information. Yeah. Then I'll jot notes, like say if I want to go back and actually watch it instead of listen, I'll jot notes on like the timestamp when I heard something. I know that's weird, but
Chico, I respect you as a father and a good guy. So I'd like to share a little bit of what my thinking about all this is, and I'm sticking my neck out a little bit here, but I'm not afraid of that. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to put a positive light on this stuff that we do, and I like to joke around and be jocular or whatever, probably more than most people do, and I can be a sarcastic person and all these things, but what I'm trying to do with what I'm doing with my YouTube channel and it's a challenge in live streams, because in live streams people can get you going in directions that you didn't intend to go in.
Correct.
And you react, and I'm not blaming anybody. I'm just saying that you can get sucked into some stuff so easily. And I try real hard in my videos and my shooting and how I represent this to show it as a hobby that even nerdy guys do. And, I like tactical stuff. I like self-defense stuff. I like all that stuff, but the internet's full of it. And I think some of it is presented in a way that is not appealing to me and to some people that are, and I guess some people would call me a FUD. Well, by that definition of FUD, that's not me. I don't think that, I've got a lot of military arms and stuff. I show more of the ones that are old and antique-y. I've got a lot of current stuff. I shoot a lot of current stuff. I like those shooting sports and contests. Now, some people that know me also know that I have a brother that was in the elitist of the elite special forces. For me to act tactical at all, it's a disrespect to the people that do the real deal and have trained so much to do the real deal. So that's why I don't show it.
Right.
Occasionally I'll show some AR stuff, but you don't see me acting like I'm a runner and gunner. I like to try that stuff and practice it. Don't get me wrong. I just don't broadcast a bunch of it. There's some of those things that people lock onto, and that's what gives you the negative attitudes about firearms people. So I'm trying to be almost skewed too far to the other side. I try to keep it crystal clear and super duper squeaky clean, and I want people to have options. If you want to watch the super duper tactical stuff, that's great. I don't have any problem with it. I watch it too sometimes, and unless it's something that rubs me the wrong way. But there's a lot of guys out there that like firearms and stuff, but maybe they even watch it with their families or whatnot, and they want something that doesn't have a bunch of tough guy vulgarity and things in it. So I try to give them that, and I'm that way anyway. I'm a nerd. Yeah, I'm a nerd, but I can be as bawdy as the next guy, but I just tend to turn it off, and that's why I use my real name. I don't hide behind a pseudonym. I'm not worried about my address. I'm not worried about serial numbers, because this is reality for me. It's what I do. ATF knows who I am. They've got paperwork, so that I just wanted to explain that, because I've had a few people ask me, well, why don't you, or how come you don't anymore? And the best way for me to sum it up in this long-winded dissertation is that I've decided that what I'm supposed to do is I'm supposed to surround myself with people that inspire me to be better. And if I willingly put myself in positions where other people are not inspiring me to be a better person, or I'm reading them that way, that's not what I'm supposed to be doing.
You got to remove yourself from them, right?
Right. So I'm, that's where I'm at on all this stuff. And I love this hobby, and I want it to survive. I don't, so I know what kind of stuff the negative side embraces, and I try to show those same things in a positive light. Kavina's here. I like Pat. Pat's a riot, but I wanted to put that out there, Chico, because I haven't been on a lot of live streams and stuff, and that's part of it, And I knew that coming on yours, you're a father, you're a family man. You got a young man to look at in your life. You understand the value.
Me being a mechanic, we got dirty mouths, so I have to tone it down around here. Yep. So I be saying stuff, and I'm like, yeah, man, you got to go on up out of here. Brother Nick, man, welcome to the stream. This is, I'm sure you know Chap, don't you?
I don't actually.
Oh,
I'm checking out his channel. I have his channel open up. I'm going to have to check out some of his videos.
Yeah.
As long as you like nerds, you'll fit right in.
Well, you can see my background and what I'm into. So
hey, look at that. Were you in the Navy?
I was not. I'm a military reenactor, so I collect all sorts of.
Oh, okay. No, I was in the Navy for 6 years. It's that's another thing I can talk about if you want to hear it, because being in the Navy prepared me for so many things in life that I never knew that it would prepare me for. It prepared me. I can't even express how much for going through a divorce. It really did, because I was more or less out of my house, like bang. It was just like going on deployment, man. Had I never been deployed and been away from everything, it would have been way harder. And then for this garbage that we've been going through the last couple of years, it's a lot like living on a ship, man. It's very similar. So I was very well prepared for all this stuff.
But yeah, I'll have to check your channel. I'm kind of looking at some of the videos you got. And so I've thought about starting a channel. It's just I work a full-time job and a part-time job, so I'm super busy all the time. So,
I really like the YouTube thing, but I also really dislike the YouTube thing. For a while there, I was finding myself not doing things that I like to do because I was pressuring myself to turn on the camera. Some days you just don't feel like hauling the stuff out, and you don't feel like dealing with batteries, and you don't feel like, and then it's pretty funny because your audience views you how your audience views you, and it varies. And I've got some of the people in my audience that they think that what I do on film is all I do, or that, why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? I was like, well, you feel like saying, look, I don't tell you guys everything.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting. It's really interesting because, well, how come you don't do this anymore? It's like, well, I just don't have the camera turned on. But you know what? I enjoy the interaction. I enjoy the, and then of course the internet's full of know-it-alls that really don't. And so you kind of have to, it's taught me a lot about balance, and Bacon's taught me a ton about balance, because you've got all different people out there, and he's uniquely qualified to handle that. But you get your share. I don't think I have any real haters. I have some people that don't care for me, and that's cool. it's all right if they don't care for me. It's all right if they think whatever, but you just got to learn to roll with it, and I try to answer every comment. I have a small enough channel that I can still do that. So it's, I try to. Sometimes all you can say is thanks for watching, because you just don't want to start it. Somebody will say something and you want to be pleasant and say, hey, you're welcome to be here, and say whatever you want to say. And you just kind of do what you do.
Yeah. And with me, it'd be mainly just milsurp. And by this point, everything, the internet's covered with milsurp stuff. So there's really nothing new out there for me to cover. So that's kind of why I haven't really jumped on it. So
yeah.
It's a plenty. Are you familiar with Milsurp Mike?
Milsurp Mike.
He's got a huge Milsurp channel. He does. He does more than Milsurp, but mainly Milsurp. He's got some interesting content as far as, because I looked into the Milsurp stuff.
Oh, I've seen his channel before. Yeah.
But yeah, Chap makes a good point, man. I'm kind of like that. If I don't see any benefit from, I don't want to say certain groups, but from the information I take in, sometimes I kind of, because I've got so much, I work a full-time job. I'm a single father of a special needs child. I've got so much going on, pulled in so many different directions. If a channel, I don't want to say if a channel, but if certain information doesn't benefit me, if I'm not gaining anything from it, I kind of delete it. And I'm not saying delete a channel, but I kind of get that off my radar. What you got there, Cap?
Keith Gregory was asking me which ship I was on. That's a hat from when I was on the Independence. Here's my cruise jacket from one of my Westpac cruises. It's wrapped up in plastic. It comes out on Veterans Day. That's about the size of it. So
nice.
So yeah, it was USS Independence, CV-62. It's a Forrestal class aircraft carrier. Doesn't exist anymore. I've got a piece of it in my bedroom.
Wow.
I bought a coin that was made out of materials from the ship when it was scrapped. It was towed. I was on it from 93 to 95. I was on the ship for 2 years. We were home ported in Yokosuka, Japan. We were forward deployed. 2 Westpac cruises during the Operation Southern Watch part of the Gulf War. And I separated and was out in the ship, I believe was decommissioned in 98, if I remember correctly. And it went to Bremerton to inactive reserve, sat there until just 2-3 years ago. And then the contract to scrapper was awarded, and it was towed by a tugboat all the way down around the southern tip of South America, back up to Brownsville, Texas, and cut up at the United Shipbreaking there. So I watched eBay auctions. They were selling parts off of the ship, and I was watching. They were selling like doors off of the ready rooms and stuff. And I was really hoping that they would sell the door off CATSI, Carrier Air Traffic Control Center, where I worked. I was an air traffic controller in the Navy. So I would have bought the door from our spaces. There was 2 doors, one into CATSI itself and one into Air Ops, that I would have loved to have had the opportunity to purchase. Some of those things were going for about $500, which I'd have definitely paid. I'd had to drive to, they wouldn't ship them. I would have had to drive to Brownsville to get it, but I'd have done it in a minute. But they never, when the pandemic hit, they quit doing a lot of that stuff. But I did get a coin. That was supposedly made from materials from the ship. Keith was on this.
Made a lot of money
on the Kennedy.
For that ship.
Cool. Yeah, it's funny because you guys that do all these chats, Big E.
Yes.
Big E was on the Independence at the same time I was. I didn't know him. He was an engineer, so totally, there's 5,000 people on the ship, and he was in the engineering department. I was in the operations department, so we may have crossed paths on the mess decks or something, but we were on the ship at the same time. I don't know his real name. I could probably find him in my cruise book from
right. I think I heard that one time on one of your live streams. He was in the side chat, and y'all figured that out, that y'all were on the same ship.
Yep. There's a lot of us Navy guys out there.
So let me ask Nick something. If you could pick one of your your milsurps, which one would be like your favorite?
I get that question all the time, Chico. And there's no way really to pick.
Yeah, right. You have to categorize it. I have certain ones that are favorites in certain categories or certain purposes, but if they all had to go away, other than one, that's a tough call.
Like my new favorite one right now that I'm messing with is the cartridge that This is right here. So
Where's Pat? Where's Pat?
Oh, Pat knows what it is.
Where's
So-
Pat?
So
Is that that's not the martini, right?
it is. So
Oh,
that's
it
the
is.
new one. That's the new one I've been messing around with. I haven't had a chance to shoot it yet. Just been super busy with work and a couple vacations, and brass has just been a mess to convert, and had to buy a special mold and dies. A lot of people think dies are expensive. Wait till you see the dies I got for this thing. I'm talking about $1,000.
Which ones did you get?
The C4 HD.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they're an excellent outfit that's really overlooked.
Yeah, I bought the 3-die set, and then all the forming dies. I bought everything I need, and I'm about $1,000 into just the dies.
Wow. I know that
So-
brass is expensive too.
Well, yeah, this is 24 gauge MagTech shot shell hole that I've converted down. So we'll see how well it turns out, and so
Hey, MCK's here.
What's up, brother? MCK. Broke
I'll
Roller came back.
even put the hat on for MCK. We can wear the indie hat. These old hats, they're so tall right here. They're goofy. You know, the modern hats are much lower. These old caps are so I look at old pictures of myself. You know, I'm small anyway, but back when I was on the ship, I probably weighed 125 pounds. I was very slender. So you got a slender guy in a Navy uniform with his hat that's like this and tight haircut. It's a different look. I look like a Muppet or something. Like, I guess I look like a Muppet anyway, but
Pat says that CH468 size 9 is the best for reloading.
Oh,
yeah,
there
I'm
you
gonna
go.
pick up a set of those here soon.
Pat ought to know.
Bus Cavina, what's going on, brother?
Yeah, if I ever get out to Vegas somewhere or where Pat is, I'm gonna want to shoot that martini.
Or if you're ever at my area,
He's got
Chico,
two of them. He's got two of them.
What and Nick, what state are you in?
Illinois. I'm central, Springfield area. So
Cool, yeah, definitely, man.
plus you can shoot any of the milsurps. You know the collection I've got. I've told you about. So
Yeah, I know.
actually, the martini's sitting right there. So that's the martini there.
Can you have a martini in a live chat?
Well,
I think you can have anything. I think where the YouTube security is when you start touching, and I know I know some people's live stream started, disappearing and stuff, and they start getting flagged and stuff like
what
that.
is the guy I watch? He's a gun guy. He's a tactical company. He puts guns in his videos all the time, but he says if it's after half an hour, normally they don't look into it. So you're well over half an hour for sure. So
Yeah, 'cause I know Uncle Jim's chat, it got pulled, and I think he was like, they had to be like 4 or 5 hours in.
just like Wes Covina says, it's not a firearm, it's an antique. So
Yeah.
By definition. As
By
scrolling up in the chat, and GGW Reloading said, WCC, your videos are educational and funny. Thank you. I really do appreciate that. That's kind of what I shoot for. One of the kindest things that was ever said to me was from one of my viewers and a friend here in town, my friend Rock. And he said that, what he likes about some of my videos, or actually probably all of my videos, is that he can, when he's like doing the dishes and helping his wife out in the kitchen, he can put them on his phone and listen and watch kind of, and doesn't have to worry what his kids will hear and things like that. So, he's thanked me a couple of times for keeping it straightforward and clean, where he can, get his fix on that kind of stuff without having to worry about what might be overheard. So I really try to be that way when I do the videos. And yeah, I am for the most part anyway. I mean, I get potty mouthed occasionally, but usually it's in context with who I'm with and stuff. And those people usually aren't around when I'm shooting, which is good. Scroll up and see.
Chat. Sorry, who was that? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut nobody off. What I was gonna say, when Chat was saying sometimes pulling out the camera sucks because you forget. And I'm like that sometimes when I'm at the range. I'm like, I gotta set up this camera and I gotta do this. And when I'm done shooting, I gotta make sure I load all my guns back up, and I gotta make sure I get my camera stuff. And sometimes, you lose track of stuff. I've left the magazine on the bench. And I ran back in there like, man, I need my magazine. It was right on this bench, man. It was like, oh, I'm like, I can't.
You know, it's funny, Chico, because, you know, I'm 52. I'm not that old. I'm 52. But, you know, you see that change with time, you know, and for me, it's my telephone lately. You know, you've got yours, you know, I'm on call for work a lot. So I've got that silly iPhone all the time. And, you know, you end up sitting it down and forgetting where you put it. And
Yeah.
I end up calling it or having my kid call it so I can find it. But, you know, so you get that, you know, where did I put things? You know, it's not just the TV remote, it's everything. And,
Right.
you know, and I get that really badly when I leave the range. You know, I've had times where I've gone down the driveway halfway and went back, you know, and even though I had double checked that I had everything,
Yep.
I'm so afraid of leaving something there. You know, it really bothers me sometimes. And, you know, and I'm like, you know, I know there's nothing there. I know I didn't leave anything, but there's this little voice that's saying you might have left something. I
You
always go back and check.
Right. Yeah.
You know, what if I accidentally left a gun case there or something, or left a suppressor there, you know, or, oh my gosh, it's just one of those things. And it's tough, you know? And so, you know, I don't want to have a checklist, you know, or
Right.
you know, but
Yeah.
what I have been trying to do is I've been trying to always put things in the same place, you know, like when I load the van on the way out, that, you know, and then, you know, it just one more little check to make sure, because there's days where I take a lot of stuff out there. Now, it wouldn't be so bad if I left a camera or something, because no one's going to get hurt by that.
Right.
But, you know, gosh, it would be horrible to leave something there that, oh, it'd be terrible.
Yeah. I was at my gun range where I'm a member at. You know, it's an indoor gun range. And I was, you know, I went in there and signed in and got my targets, and I was walking into the range, into the booth for the shooting area, and the guy came out. He said, somebody left their gun here, and the guy was gone. I was the only person there, and he left a revolver, and I'm just like, that is so bad, you know. And luckily the gun range knew him. He was an older gentleman, so he might have forgot. But you don't have to be old to forget. I forget stuff. I was mad about that magazine. I had to go back in there and get it. I was like, I need my CZ magazine.
Hey, Chico, I got to show Mark that my dad was able to save this Arasaka bottom metal where it had the extra hole and the little bit of grinding. But yeah, my dad plug welded the hole with a TIG and used a carbon steel rod so that I could blue it. So it's going to be fine. I just need to go over it. And I actually, you know, he tried not to over polish it. I might distress it a little bit before I put the bluing on there so it doesn't look brand new, but he saved it. So, you know, this is actually two pieces. You know, the tang in the back is a sheet metal, and it's folded. You can see it goes around here and then comes other way, goes this way and plugs in. And this top piece looks like it's stamped out of a piece of heavier gauge stuff, and it's, you know, a little bit rough on the edges from the stamping. And I think it's got an upset sleeve inside of the hole that holds it there. And I don't know if it was forged together or they smacked it hot and got it to stick or how, but they're pretty tight. But by my dad plug welding this and fixing it, I don't have to replace this part, and I get to keep the assembly number that's on the front. So
Nice.
I'm very, very pleased that my dad was able to save that. And we'll get this on there, and I'll make a fixture to get the hole in the right spot. I do have another one of these on the way because I wasn't sure, and I bought a bunch of stuff from a fellow, and the price was very good, so I have a spare on the way. So, you know, we're in excellent shape on it. But so anyway,
that's those good deals, ain't it? Sometimes.
Good to go.
Cool, man. You know, and I know it was said earlier. Yeah, it's always good to have somebody that they can do that work, especially so close to you, as far as your father, right? Being able to be a fabricator, or welder, I'm sure, man, the possibilities are endless.
Yeah, you know, my dad's what, 70? He's born in 46, so he's 75. You know, he still works. I mean, he's a builder and he does projects, and he's got some special projects he's doing on his side. Maybe now that it's starting to wrap up, I might take some pictures and show you guys. He's been building a custom 4-wheel drive off-road vehicle with a friend for many, many years. It started out as a F350 4-wheel drive, you know, 4-door long box that had already been lifted and all kinds of stuff done to it. And it, you know, and the owner of the truck had made several performance enhancements, and they used on the dunes up north in Michigan. And you know, it's a street legal truck, but you know, they call it dune ready here in Michigan. And they decided when the truck needed some maintenance, you know, it had a turbocharger go away, And they started, Doug was going to buy a new truck. And then they said, well, it's a lot of money. Let's do what we want to do with this one. Well, this truck ended up being stretched. And this is no joke. This truck got stretched 9 feet.
Wow.
In the frame redone. And it's got 4-link suspension and air ride. And, it all, and this thing, it's kind of got a little bit of Dukes of Hazzard in it because it's got onboard air compressors and impact wrenches and maintenance.
Nice.
And the whole deal is this, my dad fabricated this whole stainless steel flatbed / service body for this truck. And it's got all these cabinets on the side, and you open a cabinet and that's where all your air stuff is. And you open a cabinet and that's where all your other stuff is. And it's got a sleeper on it. And it's got and the deal is you drive your quads or motorcycles on it, tie them down, and then you can drive the truck right out on the dunes and have all your toys and all your tools and all your maintenance. And this thing's incredible. It's just
cool.
Crazy incredible. And they've been working on it for a long, long time. And I'd like to know how many feet of weld my dad's done on this vehicle, because, and it's just amazing, it's something that he's really enjoyed working on with his friends. And the truck was just about done. And then they realized that the frame wasn't quite stiff enough. They'd done some stiffening on it. And so it went back into my dad's shop, and he fabricated these custom doublers that go on the frame and a bunch of stuff. And then that's when they changed a bunch. It originally had air ride with the original suspension and upgraded. Well, then Doug decided, no, it's going to get that top of the line 4-link system on it. It's going to be the real deal. And so they went after it and refit all that stuff. And it's far out. I'll try to get some coverage of it at some point, because some of my friends, I know that like CW Longshot would really like it. MCK likes Argentine Mausers, but he doesn't have one yet. Well, Mark, when we get together, you can choose if you want engineer carbine or cavalry carbine or a long rifle. You can shoot them. We'll bring it down and let you fool around with it.
Yeah, it sounds like your dad's truck is going to be absolutely awesome. I drove wreckers, semi and regular, like Class D and Class B wreckers for 15 and a half years. So.
Yeah. And the guy that owns the truck, he's driven for Holland. Holland's a motor carrier. He's driven for them for years. And he's got a lot of relationships. And not only does he drive for Holland, but he's got relationships with some other people. And he's like hauled custom vehicles around to some of the big shows and stuff. So he's really in tune with what's out there and made a lot of relationships. And he and his wife built a truck for her as well. She's got a heavily modified F-150 that's done with all top of the line stuff, no expense spared. And it's really an awesome vehicle.
And I like this guy already because he's a Ford guy. And I had a couple of Ford F450s and a Ford F550. So yeah, I like Fords as well.
Yeah, he's got both. He's also got they're saying the next project, and I'm not sure that my dad's family is fully on board with it, but the next one he wants to tackle is the same guy has a 4-door Chevrolet from back in the 80s, the square bodied Chevrolet that's
the pretty ones,
crew cab long box, and it's got a 500 cubic inch small block that a performance outfit here in town built, and it's ready. This truck doesn't really need anything. It just needs to be finished, all the detail stuff. And so they're saying that that's next, which I'm like, wow, I don't know that my dad's going to invest 7 years in another one, but maybe he will. Maybe he will.
See you, Andy. Thanks for stopping by, bro. He's going to fire.
Yeah, thanks, Andy. Appreciate the kind words that you always put out there.
Yeah, Andy.
Take it easy, Andy.
It's so funny when he's got like his robe or his cigar sweater on. And then he has that East Coast sound to him. It's really awesome. It's really awesome. I just got to pop up one of my guys that I watch on live streams came on. Richie Castellano. I've mentioned him before. Richie is a musician, and he does a live stream every week where he does music, some original material, some cover stuff, and he's very, very, very good. Extremely good. He's done some stuff called Band Geek, which he and his former wife and some relatives and friends, they do videos that are remakes of real stuff, and some of them are hilarious. He does one that's a Michael McDonald one that is just hilarious. And then they did Wilson Phillips Hold On, and it's a riot. I mean, and Richie's a very talented musician. I really enjoy his show, and he's got the banter going the whole time he does the show. Uh-oh, Chico's bailing on us.
He may have internet.
No, I'll be right back, guys.
Oh, okay.
Oh man.
That's okay.
Is
now,
the
what were
cat
you
really talking?
That's exactly. I don't know. If this guy, that's like a weird name.
Richie Castellano?
No.
Oh, the guy.
Yeah.
There was a couple of things that were kind of edgy there in the beginning. So
I've been keeping an eye on him to make sure. I mean, if he's just joking around, that's all in good fun, But
yeah,
and the cat does talk, yes, quite a bit actually.
Yeah. So I did do some gun store hopping yesterday. My son had his high school graduation party over to his mother's place, and we did that. And then I headed off to one of my favorite shops and started shopping. And I found some stuff that I've been kind of looking. Found a whole bunch of 410 hulls because I bought a new 410 to shoot skeet with, and I haven't been able to buy any ammo. I did finally get 4 boxes of ammo, which isn't exactly what I wanted. It's number 8s. I'd prefer 9s because my pattern size is going to be small with this 410, and I know that the first few rounds are going to be subpar for me, because I shoot a lot of 20 on the skeet field, occasionally 12, but I shoot a lot of 20. So dropping down to the sub-bore 410 is certainly going to cost me some targets, probably most of the targets. So, but anyway, the ammo's been scarce. So I did come up with some hulls and some wads and stuff. I've got primers and shot and powder, but I don't have a 410 press, so I've got 4 boxes of factory ammo. My buddy Dave has a 410 press, and he said, I'll load them for you or whatever. But I did notice at one of the shops that I go to, they did have a 410 Mech 650, or not 650, 600 Junior in stock, 600 Junior Mark V, and I might go down and just grab that so I have a 410 press. But I thought, I right up here right on the shelf here behind me in the Lee loader pile, I do have 2 different 410 Lee loaders. I'm like, I could make a box of 410s with my Lee loader and shoot my first round of skeet with a 410 with shells I hammered with a Lee loader.
Right,
that'd be a
hammer.
Hey, that'd be a hoot. There's even some paper holes in that stuff that I picked up. There's some old paper hole 410s, which that Lee loader will work great with, but I'll have to look and see what wads they typically used, or if they just used a card wad or something. I've never reloaded any paper holes other than Federal papers, back in the 80s that my dad had, but those all used like AA components. They were very similar. I don't know that these will use standard components.
Say, Nick, do you do any reloading for your meal serps?
Pretty much everything.
Okay.
Everything's.
I figured that. I know normally if somebody's in the meal serps, they probably want to reload.
Especially this round right here. This is, if you can find this brand new, you're about $8 to $9 a shot. So
my friend Art that I shoot skeet with, he there's a video from about a year ago where he brought his French Gras out to the range, and we were shooting that 11 millimeter, and he didn't have any ammo or the means to reload it, and didn't figure he'd shoot it enough to warrant it. So he bought cartridges from Buffalo Arms, and he had a ton of money in it. Yeah,
Buffalo's not cheap, that's for sure.
I tell you, that thing was so fun to shoot. It kind of, I'd like to have something like that, but I started to think about it. I'm like, maybe I should get a 4570 because it's very universal. If I got some sort of an 1873 or whatever they are, where I could shoot smokeless in it, I could shoot black if I wanted. Very versatile. You can shoot them light, you can shoot them heavy. But I'm having a really hard time. My buddy that has the gun store in town here, he has 2 brand new Brownings that he really wants to sell, and has offered me an incredible price. It's the lever gun Browning. It's a reproduction of the Winchester. It's the 1895, I guess. That's the heavier lever gun, and he's got 2 of them that are in the 4590. And he's offered me spectacular price on my pick of the 2, and I could I could probably buy both of them. I don't think he'd knock much more off because he's had them a number of years, and a lot of people, have shied away from them because they're 4590 rather than 4570, and because Browning's original. These are actually Winchester. They're Winchester built by Browning, Moroku, whatever you want to call it. And they, the literature from back in the day says black powder only, but everyone's been shooting them with reasonable smokeless loads too. So I'm not afraid of that part of it. I know what pressure is and could certainly run them in a way that was safe. But, he's had them and would like to move them. And I've been thinking about it, but I'm like, man, not only is that another caliber, that's a whole different ball game caliber. And 500.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you if you have dies for them or can you get dies for them?
Yeah, you can get dies.
Okay, well that's good. That's a plus.
They're very available. It's a common thing. But where it started to get my attention is 400, 500 grains of lead for each bullet. I'm like, man, that'll beat up your lead supply in a hurry.
Yeah, it will. It'll drain a pot.
This was 475, and I had to buy special lead, and it's already starting to get drained. I only cast about 100 bullets, so it's
yeah.
Yeah, I've got 400 rounds of Acme 225 grain 4570 458 diameter lead with the high-tech coating on it that I use both in my 458 SOCOM and in for 4570.
Yep. The one thing that's cool, and I try to reciprocate the best I can, but usually if I come up with something on my channel and show it, there'll be 3 or 4 guys, regardless of what the thing is, there'll be 3 or 4 guys that has some experience, or their dad had experience, or hey, my brother-in-law used to and he don't use it anymore. And it's amazing the support that pours in. So I'm certain if I bought a 4590, somebody say, hey, I got extra, my dad used to have one and he had these old bullets. It always happens. Well, like Pat, West Covina Dodge, he's, when I started on my Argentine kick, he sent me stuff. He tried to send me stripper clips and the mailman stole them. So then he had to buy replacements. Poor Pat, he was just trying to be nice. And, apparently some mailman between Pat's place and my place has an Argentine and wanted stripper clips. I guess. I don't know. But, so he bought me new ones and he sent me some trigger parts and that was when I first started my Dirty Tina adventure. And, Pat's been into 76553 for a while. And then, I've got a great relationship with JCM 45. I've sent him some stuff for his Krag, and he just reached out to me yesterday and he says, don't buy brass for that Arasaka. He says, I got you covered, so he sent me a message and said there was 7.7x58 brass on the way. So, I've got some dedicated viewers that are really, and I'm not afraid to spend money on this stuff, but it sure is a nice gesture when people say, I'd like to see this, and here's what I'm going to put out there to get you inspired to do it. And that's really what it is. It's great that people donate things. I'm not looking for free stuff, but when I'm working on something like this Japanese rifle and I need a part or this or that or the other, and somebody says, hey, I'm going to send you this, it really fires you up to make the video to give back to them.
Yeah.
And it's really awesome. And I try really hard, I still owe Broke Loader a lot. Broke Loader sent me a nice package a while back with 222 brass and the, in an old vintage Lee Target Model Zero Error loader, and marvelous package. I really need to shoot some 222 for him. Several people have sent me things that bullets, and MCK's giving me bullets, and I try to shoot a little bit of it, and it's really fun to have that angle, So I actually have a little binder that I've written down video ideas for stuff that people sent me, to try to do something clever with it, rather than just saying I got these bullets from so and so and here's how good they are, or what. I trying to throw it in there and be funny about it and have some humor and something they'll remember, So
yeah,
it's cool.
I did that, I think, last year, and just because I'm on StreamYard. Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, I was just looking. MCK's teasing us. He says he's got a new toy chambered for 45 Colt. That's all he's saying. I bet he bought a lever gun. That's what it is. He bought a 45 Colt lever gun. Yeah,
and you know what? I've got to tear mine apart because the one I bought second chance from one of my coworkers, it was rough. He kind of gouged it up, so it's killing the brass. It's eating up the brass. But when Chap was saying about he makes a list, back in 2019, I guess I still had the banner saved. And if y'all see, I guess I did a live stream with these banners. Let's see if it shows up.
Dirty South objective for the future and going into 2020.
So this was in 2019 when I made these banners, and then I got another one that said, what does it say? You know, I got a list of videos that's overdue. So you know what I mean. And I had supposed to have a squib redemption video because I had that squib, my first ever squib at the range, and it was my last round, and I'm glad I caught it. But I knew exactly what it was. I heard it, and I didn't feel it because obviously there was no push. But yeah, I do that too because a lot of people, like Chuck was saying, a lot of people send you stuff without even asking. They were like, "Hey man, I need an address." I'm like, "Huh?" Like I want to send you something. I was like, "Okay." So I've got videos I need to do with people sent me bullets and what have you. So and other stuff. So yeah, that is pretty cool.
Mark, do you need anything for that new 45 project? You gave me your 45 mold and it made these bullets. So I think you have more 45 molds, but those are from your 228 mold, Mark. They're for my friend Rock. So we're sharing the wealth. And if you're into the 45 Colt business, we'll certainly share with you too. I'm not sure what you would need, but I can try to help.
Yeah, MCK said I got some. See, normally I'll catch MCK's videos late at night or early in the morning because sometimes I'm still up, can't go to sleep. That just comes with the territory of me being a single parent, right? And like he said, his videos are short, but I normally catch a lot of them late at night. I know he's like, "What's Chico still doing up?" But I do got some catching up to do on a lot of people's videos. So he's either got a lever gun or a revolver 45 Colt.
Single action.
Yeah.
Although, you know, Mark would look really good with a Red Hawk in 45. Or what's the N frame Smith variant that's a 45? I can't remember. It's it'd be along the lines of a 27, but it's a 45 Colt. That's a the beautiful revolver.
I bet Jamie knows right off the top of his head.
Yeah. Hey, Chico, I don't think you caught the comment earlier. You know, you were talking about Carter and fathering, and you just mentioned it again. It's like they grow up so fast, and I've been blessed where my son, he's always been super easy. I mean, he's never been an issue at all. I mean, anything there ever was a deal with was just typical kid stuff, and
right.
I was uniquely prepared for him because he's a chip off the old block as far as some of the stuff. And not that I remember things always, but I do. My mother has said things about, well, when you were a little guy, this and that and the other, and lo and behold, the same things with my son. And so right. I knew how my mom, I don't know how my mom knew how to deal with teachers and things like that, but she relayed those things, and I used those techniques that had been, in the anecdotes from my mother, and lo and behold, they all worked. And Alex is he's a joyous kid. It can't be anything but proud of him. And, Mark's met him and and he had his graduation open house yesterday. He's been through all the ceremonies and all that. He's did the open house yesterday. And, here I am, I'm at the tail end of this kind of sort of for this chapter of it. And come fall, he's off to college and things, but it goes fast, Chico. And, and the fondest, I shouldn't say the fondest memories, a lot of the fond memories, I can't even rank one above the other. The only one that's the fondest is the day he was born. The day he was born was obviously the best day ever. I mean, there's nothing better than that ever. But you think back of when they were little and, it's just, and I know you'll have those memories about Carter too, but I'm going to go from him being here half of the time to him not being here at all. And it's going to be different. It's going to be real different. And I'm aware of it. So we'll see.
Oh yeah, definitely, man. They do grow up fast. I couldn't even put a number on how many videos and pictures I've got saved on jump drives and hard drives and stuff like that. And so I take it all in. What's West Covina says, Taylor conversion cylinder. And MCK says, y'all keep guessing. He's over there laughing. He says, Tall, keep guessing. So, yeah, I'll be waiting on that video then, MCK, when it comes out. So, Yeah, that
I'd
45.
I
like
don't
to.
know, I don't know if Pat's the right guy to be quizzing about that because I think he was the one that said he was going to trade in his 44 for a pair of 22s. Oh, that wasn't his guns though. Okay, I'm confused.
No. I want to get a Ruger Super Red Hawk Alaskan and 454 Casull
I've
so I can shoot.
eyeballed that. I have eyeballed that so many times, and I almost one popped up that was like once fired because it scared somebody. That was in 480 Ruger, which I'm like, I'd rather have the Casull. And then I started thinking, well, the 44 would be more useful. The 480 I almost bought. I'm like, oh, that's an oddball thing. Casull has become way more common recently. So yeah, I've drooled over that. My dad has I don't remember the nomenclature and the numbers. He's got the very, very high-end Freedom Arms single action 454 Casull. And the thing is, it's like a piece of jewelry,
Yeah.
So, he's been into Casull for a long time. And I've always wanted to get that. I came across one of the Tolcat versions, which with a little bit longer barrel, I think it would be probably a more useful handgun, but it's ugly. The Alaskan just looks right. Where that Super Red Hawk has that, extended, beefed up part of
Yes,
the barrel is perfect. I mean, that is
it looks tough. It looks like a tough guy pistol. It just does. When you're looking at it, you pick that thing up and you're like, it's like picking up a GP 100 on steroids. You're like, wow, this is a revolver. And then you're like the guy behind the counter is telling me, wait till you load it with 454 Casull, 6 rounds of 454. He's like, that thing gets really heavy. And I'm like, that's what I want, a big flame ball, because it's only got like a 2.5-inch barrel on it.
And what's wild is there isn't any of the current load data on Casull that goes up to its potential. Now, granted, there's bigger pistol cartridges now, but very few people run them up to the pressures that they're made for. Casull is 60,000 PSI, and I think 460 Smith is 62,000 PSI.
Wow.
Yeah. My dad's run some pretty warm stuff in that Freedom Arms, and and when you run them at those high pressures and velocities, it's snappy. Not only does it push, it's snappy too. And it's really something. I can't imagine it in that. Of course, the shorter barrel, you're gonna have a big fireball depending on the speed of your powders and whatnot. But I'd like to play with it.
Hey, Chap, let me ask you this. So I know you have the same rifle I have, or I'm sorry, I have the same rifle you have. Yours might be more broken in than mine. So 45 long coat, R92. It's a Rossi.
Mm-hmm.
And mine is eating it's putting crazy gouges on the brass. I think I've asked you this before. What should I look at? And I'm thinking it's doing it as I'm unloading it. So like, just say I haven't shot it, but I've ran some dummy rounds through it, and it's gouging the brass up. What should I focus on that?
I'm not gonna try to fool you or blow smoke up your rear end here, Chico. I'm not an expert on those lever actions. Okay. I've got two of them. I've got the 92 and 38 357. I've had that one all the way apart and cleaned it and put it back together and everything. I can't even name it piece by piece what's in there. I know they talk about elevators and this and that, but
right.
And then the 45 I bought used, and I think what I did is I ran a patch down the bore and I fed it ammo and it shot it. The one thing that I will say is that, when I look at those things that I'm not familiar with the first time, I just look for anything that just looks sharp or worn or goofy. Right. But I'm certainly not an expert on the inner workings of those. What's funny is I watch films or look at paperwork to take one apart because they're a little bit complex, and I didn't have any problem getting it apart or back together, but I was doing it by instruction, not because I know. But the good thing about the Rossi 92 is it's a very, very popular action for cowboy action shootings. And there's cowboy action shootings. That sounds bad. Cowboy action events. Right. And there's all kinds of people that slick them up and modify them. And I'll bet there's a ton of information out there on it if you have the time to look it up. And if you would like me to help you look it up and point you in the right direction, I'd be happy to do that. But I'm not going to pretend that I know everything there is to know, because I don't.
Right.
And I've been fortunate that the two that I have run very well. I've had no problems with them other than getting my finger stuck in the gate.
Yeah.
Another thing,
Yeah, Nick
Chico,
Carter.
send us
Oh,
an
go ahead,
email.
Nick Carter.
Send us an email at the podcast with some photos,
Okay,
and I'll have Mike and Paul and us take a look at them, and Jim, and see if
sure.
we
I'll
have any
definitely do
ideas.
that. Yeah,
So,
I'll definitely. Is it the Reloading Podcast at Gmail?
yep, just send it to there. I'll let the group know. I'll let Mike know you're sending it, and because I know we talked about that a couple weeks ago with cases and marks on cases and what to look for, and it's something we can maybe even talk about this coming Tuesday real quick. So,
Sure. I definitely do it, man. I'll tell y'all a little bit about. So I got this rifle from a coworker, and he was like, I can't get it to feed. I'm about to buy me a Winchester, and he was like, you want to buy this thing? And I was just like, what do you want for? And he was like, $200. And so I was just like, that's really a deal, depending on what's wrong with it. Because Rossi's, and this was before COVID, so or the Rona. I shouldn't say COVID because now the rigum. So anyway, I like 2 days later, I asked him. I said, "What do you want for that thing? $50." I was joking. I was like, "You want $50 for that thing?" And he was like, "I'll take $100." And I'm like, I didn't want to sound excited, but I was like, "Oh, okay." So I'm automatically thinking something's wrong with it, right? He said he couldn't get it to feed any ammo, and I'm like, okay, I've got a brand new box of some defensive loads that I purchased back in my Walmart deal scores, and I had the same issue. I couldn't get it to feed anything. It would jam up. So I took it apart and slicked some things up because I've got the 357 model. So I kind of knew what some things to slick up, and I got it to feed, dummy rounds, live rounds, but it started gouging that brass up. So I was like, and what my coworker did, he cut off the lawyer lock, right? He took a grinder wheel to it, you know what I mean? And if
Yeah.
y'all know about the newer Rossi's, they have the lawyer, the safety on it.
Yeah, and the top of the
Yep.
bolt up there. Yeah.
So he grind that off, and so it has some grind marks, and I'm just like, still $100 is not bad. So I'm willing to add some money or purchase some parts, but I'm thinking more like an ejector. I don't think it's the bolt. I'm thinking like an ejector or something like that is scratching it up too sharp or something.
So is it on the side of the case, or is it on the rim, or the case face?
No, it's on the side of the case. So like the length of the case.
Yeah. Is it sticky when you open it? Because it could be as simple as the chamber is a little rough.
There's a burr or something in there. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a little rough, and the brass sticks, and then the extractor has a hard time getting it out.
Right.
So and then it chews on the rim.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, and I think I've got a case around here somewhere. But you know how that is. Since I'm looking for it, I probably can't find it. But soon as I not looking for it, I'll find it. That's how it works.
Yeah. Hey, Chica, what you can do is you can you can cock the rifle and open the action and take a piece of brass and put it into the chamber and close it, and then open it slowly and grab the piece of brass as it's coming out, and you can actually spin it on the extractor and look at it and see if it's leaving a line or a crease in the case, and then see if it's the actual chamber, if you don't have a bore cam or a bore scope to look inside.
Right. Yeah, I think I've even painted a case to try to, to get a little ideal on it a little bit, to try to look for the marks. And they're not bad, but they are. I think someone else has that same rifle, and I think Georgia Boy, and he was like, no, I don't have, issues like that with mine. And I was like, yeah. So he basically, the guy, bless his heart, he probably did it. So that's not a problem. But
yeah, that's what I was thinking, is he probably tried to get it to work. If you're saying he already modified one thing on the rifle, he probably tried to get it to work and made it even worse.
Let's see if I can show it. Can y'all see
Well, I can see him on the bullet even.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's something sharp in there.
Yeah, there's something sharp. Have you tried running your finger up in there to see if you feel anything?
Chico, did that one just go into the chamber, or did it come out the tube and feed up into it? Because are they getting scuffed up in when the elevator brings them up, or are they getting scuffed up after they were in the chamber?
I'm not sure but I definitely ran it in the tube. I ran it because he did tell me he replaced the loading gate. Because he was, some people just like to take power tools to stuff.
I'll slick it up. Yeah.
If the elevator is not bringing the round all the way to all the way up high enough, I've had this problem with pump action shotguns before. If it doesn't, that round, instead of going directly into the chamber, not hitting anything, will ride across the bottom of the chamber, and it will sometimes with a shotgun it jams them up. But with that, it almost looks like it's going across, like the elevator's not going high enough, causing that round to catch the bottom of the chamber and ride it all the way in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because you can see it on the bullet right there, too. So.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying on the bullet as well.
Yeah, it's either a lifter or it's something maybe in the chamber, a burr or something that's grabbing that. But that one looked like it had 3 spots, so I don't see how it would be a burr in the chamber.
People tried 3 times.
Oh yeah, yeah.
True.
Yeah, so yeah, those. But Pat asked about those old 22s I had that belonged to my uncle. They were a pleasure to shoot for me because I haven't really shot anything that old. But I like the pump action, the gallery guns, and like I said, one of.
Chigo went robot.
1892, 1892. I forget the model or whatever. And the other one was a 1925. One of them was chambered in 22 short. The other one was chambered in 22 long. And I finally got him the other one back. And I cleaned it all up. I didn't take any of the original blue one out. But it was a lot of TLC that I had to add to get some of the ruts because he had it stored in his basement. And when he took me to show me, as soon as we hit the downstairs in the room where they were at, I was like, oh, that is a bad smell. It was nothing but moisture. I smelt it. And he started pulling those guns out. I was like, oh, man. They were, and one of them was stock down. One of them was barrel down. So both of them were rusty. But I told him before he ever gets rid of them, he needs to let me know. So it's my dad's brother. And he also had I think it's a 1897 lever action shotgun. That belongs to
87. That'd be the 87.
Yeah, well, 87, yeah.
Yeah.
And he was like, you got any shotgun shells for this? And I was like, you can't put modern shotgun shells in that thing. I said because I said that thing was based off black powder, if I'm not mistaken. So it was sweet, but hopefully maybe in the future I'll get them or something. Yeah, I'm interested in getting this Rossi, but Chap was right, man. Taking those Rossis apart are a pain in the butt.
I just did it step by step. I read someone else's instructions. It was one of those things that you just kind of go through it slowly and, mind your screwdrivers that they fit the screws properly and
correct.
Yes, stop twice and think before you gouge something up type of, just the typical stuff that you do to be careful. But
when I had my squib load in my Rossi at the range in 357, so I basically took the stock off, took the bolt out so I could knock the squib because it went almost out. I was like this much from the barrel from coming out. So when I got it home, I took it apart and I just knocked it out. It didn't take any too much pressure to knock it out. And I was like, well, now's a good time to slick this thing up because it was a little rough from the factory. And I had the darnest time putting it back together. But after then, I did it like 5 more times just so I can be familiar with it. And because I'm kind of technical like that.
It's funny because in one of our live streams a long time ago, I think Josh Hilliard was on 243 and I don't remember who else. And somebody started asking the question about cleaning guns. And I'm like, you don't want to ask me that question because I'm not a religious cleaner. I don't clean them every time I go to the range. I'll run a patch through them and stuff to, and all that. But when I buy a new gun, or I shouldn't say a new gun, when I buy a used gun, many times I'll fully disassemble it as soon as I get it, especially if it's something that I'm familiar with and know all about it. I just go through it, clean it, get all the old grease and gunk out of it that doesn't belong in it, and set them up the way I like them set up. And, and I'll clean the bore real good and then I'll just shoot them. And after that, a lot of the stuff, you know, I might only shoot 100 or 200 rounds through them before I move on to something else, you know, so I don't, very seldom do I run them enough to really warrant doing that again until, you know, maybe, you know, and there's some things that I've done that initial shooting with and they've been put away since, you know, and when I bring them back out, they'll, you know, I might run a patch through them, but I don't get enough gunk in them that it's a problem, you know, so so I mean, the Rossi, when I took it apart, it was because it was a used one that I bought. And it was funny because when I bought it from people I know down at the shop, and I bought two guns the same day. I bought a 6-inch GP 100 in 357. There was a special issuance that has a unfluted cylinder, and I really wanted it, and they wrote me a great deal on that. And then you know, and then my friend jokingly said, "What you really need is this lever gun to go with it." And I'm like, "Well, they don't really match, but I'd like to have it," you know. So we ended up doing a package deal, and he says, "Yeah," he says it came in, and someone said they'd been having some problems with it, and the Mike, the guy that does some of the gunsmithing maintenance, went through it, and he didn't seem to think there was anything, and you know, they told me, he said, "You have a problem, just let us know." But it's never misfed anything. I mean, I don't, you know, it's been just fine. Now I'm not one that runs 38s and 357s, or, you know, I typically shoot 357s in them. And so maybe it wouldn't feed well with 38s. I don't know, but I've never had anything that didn't work well with it. So I don't even know what to think of it, but I took it apart just because I wanted to clean it up, because it was a used gun that came in, and they, you know, the shops do the bare minimum. You know, they don't, you know, when a gun store brings in a gun on trade-in, you know, they're operating on a margin. If they spend 2 hours cleaning on a pistol or something, that's profit that goes away, you know, and you can't mark it up more because somebody cleaned it, you know, so they, you know, a lot of times they'll do the basics, and, you know, if they have to do something to it to move it, they will. But if there's a way to move it with spending nothing on it, that's what they'll do.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Hey, Mario out there. He said this is the Saturday version of Georgia Shooting Connection. No, because I went way longer than expected. Georgia Shooting Connection only lasts for about 2 hours, but I had time and I haven't been on YouTube for a minute. So I think I got on Uncle Jim's chat last Saturday because I had some time. It was after a long day, a long weekend of working. So sometimes I jump on when the time allows. So, but I think I'm going to end it at 3:30, if that makes sense. And I hope I appreciate everybody jumping on and hanging out. Like I said, I didn't have a topic, and my coffee is gone. Y'all see I'm over here drinking Body Armor electrolyte drink. So, but I appreciate everyone jumping on. I will tell y'all, I've got some footage from when I first started USPSA back in March, and I've got like certain videos. One thing I don't want to say hate, but I didn't get my first stage because I was focused, right? Or I was trying to be focused and not break any rules, break that 180-degree rule.
It takes vigilance. Takes a lot of vigilance at first. And I think people underestimate that because you're used to your own mannerisms. And I tell you what, I think just about everybody loses a stage or even gets a disqualify for a you know, the 180 violation or a not showing clear properly. And it's a learning thing. And I think almost everybody gets one eventually that's new to it.
Oh yeah. Everybody gets a technical, you know, when they first getting started.
I haven't got one, but my first stage, the group of people that I was with. So when whoever's shooting, someone else will grab their phone to record them. So I didn't do that my first stage, but the other 5 stages, I got video footage of that. So I'll be posting that up. Because it was an experience, because the main time I was just thinking nothing, do not have to.
Don't screw up.
Yeah, right. So, but that's what I'm going to post up. I got a little video on that, and I got some other videos of some products that I've been using, but just don't have any video. And that's going to be it for me. Echo, you got anything coming up in the future, brother?
I'm going to be shooting some 22 TCM and trying that out in my Glock 19. So look for that, and I'm going to be finishing up some 223 5.56 reloading on making just range pickup brass sub MOA stuff for your AR.
Cool, good deal, brother Nick. Hey, I know this is Nick's first time on my channel, but y'all check. Even though Nick doesn't do videos, if y'all get over there and sub him, he might get conflicted. He may be conflicted to do some video.
I'm working on some stuff for the Reloading podcast channel. Going to be starting a review of my chronograph to put up on the channel here soon. And then once I get some loads loaded up for this Martini Henry, I'm going to do a video and post that on the Reloading podcast channel. So
awesome. Cool. I'll be watching it, brother. Brother Chap, it was good you being on here, man. It's always a pleasure having you on here, man, because your way of thinking, to my opinion, man, I enjoy it. Your silent videos and all of that. So
Thanks,
you got anything
Chico.
coming up in the future?
Well, yeah, obviously this, it was an impromptu thing, but stumbling across this Type 99 Arasaka last Saturday is given me a diversion that I'm really enjoying. And I was going to just put it away. I was going to just put it away and say, don't change course, work on other things. But it was too appealing. I'm like, well, I need to see if it's rusting. If it's rusting, I got to stop it. And luckily it isn't. It's got one little spot under the handguard. But anyway, that's going to be probably a little bit of a focus here until I get it running. So I'm really fired up about that. I just received an order that I put in with a vendor in Oregon. I bought a full set of target stands so that I can have my own Steel Challenge set up. I've always wanted it. I've been acquiring gongs and stuff when they were on sale, looking at target stands, wanted something portable. I found a place in Oregon that's called US Metal Works. And as soon as I saw it, I'm like, that's what I'm buying. I don't care what it costs. That's what I'm buying. And he laser cuts them from plate steel, and it's a knockdown design that just plugs together. And I really like it. And I bought them with the top part that can do either a single 2x4 center post with a hanger on the top for a gong or a silhouette. And it's also got the two outboard for 1x2s for IDPA targets, the cardboards. So I envisioning that Rock and Mike and I will probably be setting up some stages and practicing with it and stuff. I don't know how much I'll film doing stuff with silhouettes. I'm still a little touchy about that as far as, not venturing too far into the tactical side of the world. There's plenty of that out there. I definitely will show some stuff of Rock and Mike and I doing Steel Challenge stuff. They're going to smoke me. I mean, I'm pretty fast. I mean, I'm trying not to brag here. I'm pretty fast, but I think that those two guys, especially, they shoot a lot and they shoot a lot of competitive stuff. I'm thinking that once they're put in a competitive situation, they're going to light me up. So, been talking with my friend Mark. We're going to do probably a Steel Challenge day out to his place and just invite some of our friends. And like Chico was saying, the interesting thing there is going to be having our friends not get angry at us when we set up a table and say the gun stays in the case until it comes to the table, because it's so easy to be behind the firing line, waiting for your turn and make a mistake. And we just don't have we don't want anybody hurt. So we'll have to talk to our friends and say, hey, look, when we get excited about this kind of shooting and we're trying to perform, don't be upset when you aren't exercising the world's finest muzzle control. I do it sometimes too. I've had Rock correct me a couple of times, and you just listen to what they say. Say, hey, chap, watch your muzzle. I'm like, sorry, man. You just let it go. You gotta learn from it. Some guys get very jocular about, it's unloaded, this or that and the other, and that's when accidents happen. So you really gotta say, hey, whoever's the person that's pointing these things out, you're gonna listen to them regardless of what they say. So looking forward to that. I want to do some of that, and not going to do a product review on these bases, but I'm going to show them because I was very impressed with them, and I was impressed with the vendor when I called him. I ordered 6 sets from him. Because I ordered 6 sets, he gave me a bit of a price break, so I was very pleased there. They're off at the powder coater getting powder coated, and I tell you, anybody that hasn't shopped for a full 5 target plus a stop target Steel Challenge set, even if you do it yourself, if you buy something decent, you're gonna have $1,000 in the setup. I tried to minimize costs. Once I saw what I really wanted, I just said, that's what I'm going to buy. It's just the way it is. No sense in me making them. I liked what this guy was doing and stuff. So that's coming up. I'm starting to get a lot more interested in some of the stuff that my dad used to do, the silhouette stuff and all that. I've been fooling around with TC contenders and silhouette calibers and playing with those various things. So right now, the Japanese rifle will probably be kind of taken over for a bit just because I'm fired up. But I think I'm going to go back to some of the stuff I was doing 4 or 5 years ago. I think I'm going to get some of the, some of the race revolvers out again and start working on that again. And, and the only reason I do the revolvers is I can pick up moon clips rather than picking up individual pieces of brass. It's just easier. So that's what I'm gonna be doing.
Cool, good deal. And you know what? I want to piggyback on what Chap said. So when I'm shooting a competition, and I had to learn this, I haven't been DQ'd, but they tell you the rules, you know, so you kind of want to research. But if you're not shooting, your gun is unloaded, and mine is in the holster, but your gun is unloaded. If you touch your gun, you're DQ'd. Yeah, and you may not even be shooting. So it makes sense as far as the safety aspect of it, at least me, because normally when I'm at a range, my son is with me. So, you know, like you said, everyone wants to be safe. Everybody anytime I go to the range, I want to leave just like I got there with no holes in my body. Right. So, you know, some people, like Chap said, some people can get all, you know, masculine about it and be upset. But, you know, at the end of the day, you want to go home safe and everybody with you. So, yeah, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah, it's, you know, it's say that the Steel Challenge and Rimfire Challenge stuff that I've done there, you know, there's a shooting table for the shooter, and then the timer and the other safety guy are there, and you have to bring the pistol up to the table in the case. You can have your magazines in the case, and the magazines can be loaded, but there cannot be a magazine in the pistol. It has to have a safety flag in the chamber, and you open up the case. If you open the case and there's not a chamber flag in it and open, you're DQ'd. You're done. You're done for the day, not just for the stage. You're done for the day.
Yeah, that's how
there's a lot of guys that get fired up about that, and they want to do things their way, and it's you know, you just have to be humble. You know, you just have to be humble about it. And you know, I've not had a problem with the casing and the chamber flag and stuff like that, but there have been a couple of times where I've, you know, after you're done shooting, you think you're in low ready or whatever, and you're really not, or you think you know, and the first few times when the guys say and show clear, and you get a little bit of brain lock, you know, because you're so geeked up, you know, you just have to understand your first couple of times you're going to be like that, you know, especially when you're trying to beat a time, you know, and you want to stand there and think about your stuff, but you got to think about showing safe with that weapon and getting it either back in the case or in the holster. And it's, you know, the competitive thing, you know, and like I say, my friend Rock and Mike, they go all the time. And you know, I know that when I go to my first one with them, the first thing they're going to have to do is to learn me about the ways of how that individual club does their stuff, you know, and you know, you may get tackled if you don't.
Right. Well, I appreciate everyone jumping on and just doing like sort of coffee chat with me. Like, I haven't been on here for a while, so I appreciate everyone joining. Nick, then Chap, and Echo. Jamie was on here earlier, and all y'all out there in the side chat. Look like it's 12 of y'all. At one point, I was 21 of y'all, so I appreciate it. So y'all, if y'all not subscribed to Nick or Chap or Echo, make sure y'all do that and get out there and support everyone in our community that's doing good work.
JCM just popped in. I want to thank him again for the nice message yesterday about sending me the Japanese rifle brass. It was great because I just got a text message out of the blue that says, "Hey Chap, don't mess with that 7.7 brass. I got you covered." And I'm like, all right. I'd rather hear him say it though. He's got one of those smooth cool
jazz
voices.
voice.
He's like, "Hey Chap, don't worry about that brass, man."
So I'm gonna run down the side chat real quick before we get out of here. So we got GGW reloading. Come on, computer. GGW reloading. JCM 45. We got West Covina Dodge. We got Mario Mosin. MCK was here. West Covina Dodge again. It was more of you. I'm sure TMS was here, and then Little Boy, whoever that was. And shout out to all the trolls that came in earlier trolling me. I appreciate y'all too, because that still goes on my analytics. Andy 79 Z28, 67 Rebel. I'm sorry, brother, if I miss you. Who else? I know Uncle Jim was here. Keith Gregory. Who else? TMS. AR Gun 1776. Nick is on the panel with us. And that is all my side chat shows. So I appreciate everyone. I will catch y'all next time. Thanks again for jumping on, everyone.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for having us.
Brother. Yes, sir. In 3, 2, 1. Is it gonna end? Yes.